Welcome to my new series, where I take a look at every change 4Kids made to the One Piece anime. 4Kids were well known for their localization practices that heavily censored the shows that they licensed, particularly when it came to anime. Anime such as Sonic X, Yu-Gi-Oh! And even Pokemon were censored by 4Kids to help Americanize the shows and make them relatable to Western audiences, although most would say 4Kids went too far when it came to what they would censor. One Piece is one such show many anime watchers will point to for this, and is considered one of the main reasons for 4Kids' downfall. In this series we'll be going through every change 4Kids Entertainment made when localizing One Piece for Western kids, and believe it or not, 4Kids dug One Piece all the way up to the post-Alabasta filler arc, with them producing 104 episodes out of the original 144 Japanese broadcast episodes, so we have a lot to get through, which is also why I'll be splitting this up into multiple videos.
Wait, what?
But first, so we have a
They changed Zoro's cotton thing when doing his sword
Apparently
to
they did.
red?
I mean,
Did he?
I don't see
Small
what they...
change. I wonder why they change it.
I don't know. I haven't seen the episode. Maybe referring to that as some sort of candied item.
Yeah, I can't make a good analysis on that because I'm not quite sure how it was in the original there.
lot to get through, which is also why I'll be splitting this up into multiple videos. But first I need to lay down some ground rules so we can better understand what I'll be considering as a change or not. Rule number 1. I won't be mentioning every dialogue change, as this will get tedious, so I'll only be mentioning changes in dialogue when it comes to character names, places and important objects, or if what is being said changes the plot significantly in any way.
Pause.
Rule number 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't be going over. Okay, he doesn't have to go over everyone, but I feel he should go over some of them. Zolo, for example. I don't know.
He'll bring that up.
I mean, I know a very fun name change, but that's probably not a 4Kids change, but the change of the dub in my area. That name change is quite funny. If you don't know it, where I live, they changed the name Raftel to Unicorn, which is that Power Ranger Transformer. No idea why they changed that island name.
That's a random change.
Yeah, they changed Raftel to Unicorn for some reason. That really didn't need to happen.
Also, I'm pretty sure the rules specifically mean that he won't bring up like very specific changes in dialogue. Like if Luffy said something like Japanese for this is cool, and then it changed to something like, wow, that sucks. That type of change would actually technically count, but not something as drastic as like something.
Yeah, those are changes I wouldn't even think of as a real change. Those are just translation and localization normal changes. But I think names should order.
That's just dialogue stuff. I mean, dialogue is going to be different in translations and stuff.
Or something like Zoro clucking every time someone does a cowardly thing.
Cutting down or shortening of scenes will not count as a change. I will only be counting scenes that are censored by having something changed, removed or added within the scene, although the removal of entire scenes or episodes will be counted. Rule number 3. Japanese text which has been changed.
Or the dubbing thing where people that have their mouth open have to actually have some sort of sound coming out of it instead of it just being an expression. The classic dub issue.
To English will not count, as this in my opinion is a pretty standard change when localizing a show to a different language. I will however be counting texts that were originally in English to begin with but was either changed or removed. With all that out the way, let's get into it.
Hello KFC.
Stop.
Just when we started the video, sort of.
Oh my god, the video is working for me now.
Well, for now.
Oh God, don't jinx it.
Starting from the beginning with episode 1.
Yeah, yo, yeah, yo!
Oh, I hope he plays the song. The song.
Number 1. Right off the bat, we get our
Oh, he
first
will.
change, with the intro having been altered to include clips from the anime, along with the original Japanese intro, and the iconic theme, We Are, has been replaced with the One Piece rap.
Which is significantly more iconic. Don't give it up, Luffy! Don't give it up, Zoro! Don't give it up, Nami!
Number 2. Every episode title has been changed. Number 3. Pretty much every major or minor character who is considered a pirate in the show has had their dialect changed in some way to mimic the pirate accent stereotype that is present here in the West, and will often use pirate links.
Dialogue changes?
They're implying an accent which wasn't there in... Well, except in the original Viz translations.
I mean, technically this is dialogue. This is a change to dialogue still. It's changing how they talk.
Well, it's also count as added content in a different dub. So take what you will. It is new content or different content, not in the original print.
Go throughout the show.
You scurvy coward! You ought to walk the plank for not fighting with the rest of us! That's not it!
Number 4. The original Japanese music score has been completely replaced with 4Kids' own soundtrack. Some of the music is actually reused from their previous shows. Number 5. Nami is seen kicking a pirate in between his legs in the Japanese version, while 4Kids cuts down the scene so it's less obvious. Number 6. A bounce sound effect was added in the scene where Luffy breaks 2 swords off screen. Number 7. 4Kids censored the scene where Alvida throws her mace at her subordinate and sends him flying, as well as removing the scene where the mace falls back down, hitting the other 2 pirates on the head. Number 8. The commercial break eye catchers have been removed and are replaced with fade-ins. 4Kids also includes an extra ad break for American audiences. Number 9. Likely the most infamous scene in the 4Kids dub of One Piece, Kobe pleads to Luffy not to hit him, which Luffy then states he wasn't going to.
Kobe, stop it! Don't hit me! I wasn't going to hit you. Oh.
In the Japanese broadcast, Luffy does in fact hit Kobe, just because. Number 10. 4Kids removed the scene where Luffy is seen punching a pirate in the face. Number 11. Devil fruits have had their name changed to cursed fruit, likely due to the religious reference. Number 12. Luffy's Gum Gum pistol move has been changed.
What name change?
That is a name change.
It changed, the name of devil fruits were changed to cursed fruits, he said.
Cursed fruits.
But he said in the beginning, I think that name changes aren't brought up. I mean, guess that's it.
I'll just play it back.
I'll be splitting this up into multiple videos. But first I need to lay down some ground rules so we can better understand what I'll be considering as a change or not. Rule number 1. I won't be mentioning every dialogue change as this will get tedious. So I'll only be mentioning changes in dialogue when it comes to character names, places and important objects
I
what is being said changes the plot.
My bad.
Okay, yeah, the exception parts. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But dialogue, I would count changing his accent, changing miscellaneous characters to have pirate accents as technical dialogue changes that aren't in the exception rule.
It's weird how they remove the violence from this. I mean, from what I know, 4Kids is pretty much for like 8-year-olds. So I guess this type of violence, even slapstick, would be a little.
Some violence, like I said, Luffy headbutts that guy, but they remove him punching another guy. It's like, I don't know, like he's hitting a guy either way.
Then slapstick, they remove the slapstick, which I find even weirder.
given how kid-friendly they tend to make the show, I would really like to see how they would change current arcs. That would be a lot of work.
Change to Gum Gum Blast. Number 13. The military force known as Kaigen in the Japanese broadcast has their logos branded with the word Marine written in English. This is despite the fact that Kaigen actually translates into English as the Navy. 4Kids decided to change all the text relating to the Kaigen to Navy, which was likely done so it would cause less confusion as they were trying to target a younger audience. Number 14. The ending theme and animation has been removed and replaced.
Damn, that gotta take a lot of work. I say that, but the fact that they even got... Oh yeah, if you haven't known, 4Kids didn't even want to pick up One Piece. It was just that they had to, since it was a tie-in deal with a different property.
I did not.
Oh yeah, I
actually know
remember
that.
hearing about that.
I forget the other one.
Yeah, it was
I
a
wouldn't
really
say it was...
obscure one.
Hello, Nedicbus? Nedicbus.
Replaced with an altered version of the 4Kids intro rap. Number 15. The next episode previews have also been removed. Episode 2. Number 16. Roronoa Zoro's name has been changed to Zolo. This was done to avoid possible copyright infringement with another fictional character of a similar name. Viz Media also changed Zoro's name to Zolo when bringing the manga over to the West and is still the official name for Zoro in the English version of the manga. Number 17. At the beginning of the episode, Kobe is speaking about Zoro, and the scene jumps to Zoro cutting down an unknown pirate, implying he killed them. This was censored in the 4Kids version. Number 18. Zoro is seen tied up to a cross in the Japanese, while 4Kids had the top removed to refrain from any references to religion. 4Kids also censored Yu-Gi-Oh for a similar reason. Number 19.
That's the weirdest part. Sure, the cross is associated with Christ, but I wouldn't call that really a cross. That's more of a T shape.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I know crazy people are going to get annoyed or offended really easy, but are people really going to be offended by the shape of a cross?
Who knows?
America, yes.
Probably. There are people that get...
Little baby children and their baby children parents are gonna get offended by the slight indentation of a cross, so just censor every Japanese character on screen, and even English. Extreme censorship is the ideal of all anime produced by 4Kids.
4Kids changed the type of food that the little girl gives Zoro from rice balls to cookies, as onigiri isn't commonly well known in the West. Number 20. Instead of taking the time to edit the note Helmeppo is holding into English, they saved themselves some precious editing time and just removed showing the note from the scene. Number 21. In the flashback where we're shown the reason Zoro was tied up, 4Kids censored Zoro punching Helmeppo in the face. Number 22. This also caused them to censor the bruise that can be seen on Helmeppo shortly after. Number 23. In the very same shot, 4Kids also redrew Zoro's sword to be further away from Helmeppo's neck than in the Japanese version. Number 24.
If they're gonna show the sword scene, why have it... Why shorten the swords? Why shorten the sword if you're still gonna have the sword scene?
At that point, just remove it completely.
It's just... That's just really unnecessary, because there's actually... It's just extra work that they didn't need to do, because the point is made regardless.
But guys, those poor children.
Then don't get properties where you have to do all this work. Except for the case of One Piece, when have to because they wanted to do another thing, and it was a bundle deal, which I don't remember which it was.
Nami is shown for the first time in the episode with a panning shot of her legs going upwards. 4Kids thought this would be too sexually suggestive for their target audience and started the camera further up. Number 25. El Mepo's glass of wine has been changed to juice, with 4Kids changing the colour to orange. Number 26.
They could have just implied it as grape juice.
I mean, if he gets it from that sort of bottle, it's going to. It's all that stupid where they would think, oh, he's drinking orange juice when it comes out of that specific bottle. I don't know.
Yeah, but the drinks all that matter, apparently.
Captain Morgan's cigar has been removed from the 4Kids version. Number 27. In the scene where Captain Morgan attacks the soldier that is refusing to obey an order, the sound effect of the axe hitting the soldier has been removed in the 4Kids edit.
What?
This was probably done to lessen the overall impact of the hit. Number 28. Another big change to the One Piece world in the 4Kids version is the censorship of weapons, namely guns. Throughout the series, we will be seeing a variety of ways that 4Kids went about censoring all kinds of guns. In this particular episode, the guns of the Navy have been changed to look more like water guns. Episode 3.
Here's the thing. I've noticed that in other children's properties, whenever any sort of firearm could even relatively be implied, is usually the blunderbuss. A weird looking gun with like a horn shaped cone at the end. I would have thought that weapons of that era would get a safe pass, but apparently even flintlocks and muskets are too dangerous for the sensibilities of 8-year-olds and their 8-year-old child parents.
Also, okay, I don't know what it's completely like in America. I'm not from there, but okay, I understand guns are more common, and I understand not wanting to show guns to kids, but I don't know if you're going to take a show where you're going to have things depicted with guns. They really should have looked into what they were getting into before they took One Piece, if they are that adverse to showing guns to people.
I think one of the issues there is that maybe it's because Luffy's rubber powers, the bullets bounce back and he's fine. And maybe they don't want kids to get it in their head that it's okay to shoot at their friends because the bullets will just bounce back. And maybe they just don't want to risk that. That could be also an explanation.
No, Americans are just kind of hypocrites. It just is what it is.
No, okay. A counter to that is A, where the hell is the children gonna get a gun? B, where are they gonna get a musket or flintlock? C, it's been said in universe that he has the cursed fruit. And C, his name is Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy, the king of the pirates.
Counterpoint, kids are stupid. Yeah. And all crafty.
So, to answer your first point, Leo, their parents might have a gun somewhere in the house. They could just find it one day. Because that's happened a lot.
44% of Americans live in a gun-owning home.
Then where are they gonna get a flintlock if they're that smart enough to think that any gun's gonna reflect off of their malleable body?
Oh no, Americans are just very hypersensitive to media for some reason. You should see the book shit that they're starting to do here.
Definitely.
They're fine with real life stuff, but when it comes to media, they lose their minds.
American Civil War enthusiasts could own old weapons?
Let's take a 25 and even lowering it down. So when will the number be big enough to even bring attention to said demographic? Not to mention the actual, musket or flintlock actually being loaded.
I mean, yeah, that's probably a good point. I was just playing devil's advocate for why they could have done it except stupidity, but yeah.
Freaking have a flintlock in your dressing drawer.
That's probably very unrealistic.
Number 29. Going off the previous change, Helmeppo's pistol has been replaced with a cartoony spring hammer. The only remaining part of the pistol is the grip. Number 30. As Captain...
Why couldn't it just change it to an actual hammer? That's about it.
Probably because they didn't want to redraw the arm, and that made more sense for the posing, I suppose.
Then why not draw it to like a... Never mind.
Morgan is just about to attack Luffy with his hand axe, Zoro steps in and slices Morgan down. As he is falling, you can see small fragments of his shirt flying off him. In the 4Kids version, these fragments are removed. It really makes you wonder why they took the time to edit small details like this, but not others like the note in the previous episode. Number 31. When viewing the map of the Grand Line, the arrow that is shown to indicate the red line is removed, along with most of the text seen on the map. Although, it seems like 4Kids only went halfway with removing all the text, as there is still some that has been left on the map. Number 32.
Still in English. If anything, apart from actually licensing these products, the fact that they even decided to change the characters, the English characters, and just removing them completely is the worst. It's already in English.
Towards the end of the episode, as Luffy and Co are about to leave the island, Luffy purposely antagonizes Kobe by threatening to reveal that he is a part of Alvida's crew, in order to get Kobe to stand up for himself. Kobe punches Luffy in the face, with Luffy returning the favour, although the scene of Luffy punching Kobe is censored, while Kobe's punch was left in.
Bro, that's racist against Luffy's. Wait, why didn't it... You know what, never mind.
Okay, but they still showed the two of them punching each other in the reflection, so...
Yeah, but that's implied violence.
Number 33. The word anchor has been removed from Luffy's shirt, despite it being in English. This is the first instance of many that I'll be showing in this series, where 4Kids...
I have really no idea why they do this, so I'm not even gonna try to make a joke.
It's the one that makes the least sense. That it's a word, it's in English, it's just extra effort they didn't need to take out.
Something, kids are dumb and don't like to read.
That cannot be the point.
That I'll be showing in this series, where 4Kids decided to remove English text. 4Kids had a habit of doing this in all their shows, and I have yet to see any logical reason for them to make these edits. Number 34. 4Kids removed the wine bottle that is next to Shanks during Luffy's flashback scene, but the very same wine bottle magically appears later when Shanks offers it to the mountain bandit, and has had its colour changed to orange. Number 35. We're already at the second instance of English text being removed, with Yasop having his name removed from his bandana. Number 36. During the confrontation between the red-haired pirates and the mountain bandits, the guns from both parties have been altered to look more like cork guns, and are stated as such, robbing the scene of its serious tone by implying the bandit fell over due to being scared of the cork gun going off so close to his ear, instead of actually being shot in the head and killed.
But I admit, they can still give quite a scare. When he wakes up, someone tell him it was a cap gun.
Number 37. Despite showing Shanks' crew member beating the bandit with his rifle...
Voice is terrible.
Oi, Hawkeye! Join us for a spell! I've been playing... I played Pirate Grand Adventure, and Well, unfortunately, not all the characters have lines, but just the playable characters. Also, this implies that you know what the Grand Adventure is and the usual adventure titles.
I think I've seen a game like that, but I'm not entirely sure.
Which was left unedited, they decided to remove the rifle along with his arm in the scene which has him pointing the gun at the Mountain Bandit's leader just a few seconds later. Number 38. 4Kids also removed his cigarette in any scene that he appears in.
I don't even think that's a cigarette.
It is a cigarette, but he just didn't smoke. He just didn't light it up, unlike in the manga.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna pack the wagon and take
Terror
our
on the Pirate? The Prairie.
Episode 5. Number 39. Luffy punching a buggy pirate in the face has been censored. Number 40. Luffy punching 2 more buggy pirates in the face has also been censored. Something tells me that 4Kids doesn't like people getting punched in the face. Number 41. One of Buggy's pirates has had his skin colour changed to avoid any possible racist undertones with the way the character is portrayed. Number 42. In the pan-in shot of the Buggy pirates celebrating, 4Kids censored a number of things, such as starting the pan a bit further on to remove one pirate chugging 7 beers, removing wine bottles from the scenery, and changing the sword that is balancing from a pirate's mouth to a balloon. We will count these as just one change. Number 43. The name...
Pause.
Yeah.
They kept the scene of the guy doing the thing where they, in the panning shot where he puts the knife in between his fingers, but everything else, except for the guy holding a teeth in his mouth, that's perfectly fine, but we'll keep that in.
You don't want to put
If they're trying
knives
to
in
put
your
out dangerous
mouth.
things, that's super dangerous.
Why would you let your child hold a knife, let alone let them even imitate the knife trick? So, why not just censor off the knives then? Or sharp blades? Or blades? Or anything
They're
remotely
going this.
dangerous? Hell, why not? Jesus, 4Kids, why do you even have any licensings?
They're so. They so want to cut out like any and all violence, yet they somehow. Yet Zoro somehow kept his sword throughout the entire thing. But going by they want to cut off violence, then they're going to create the message that it's okay to hit people with swords, nothing bad happened.
And it's okay if someone shorter than you hits you in the mouth. Isn't that right, Kobe?
The name of the pub that Buggy's crew has commandeered has been removed. Number 44. The stab wound Zoro receives from Buggy has been heavily censored throughout the arc. Number 45. After Luffy calls Buggy a big nose, Buggy launches his hand holding a knife straight at Luffy, but Luffy catches it in his mouth and breaks it. 4Kids censored this by having the knife fly back to Buggy instead, simply by reversing the animation.
If that isn't the funniest thing I ever seen. Also, that also breaks the entire continuity, since Luffy is quite susceptible to sharp things than the average person.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually amazing. Why'd they have to do it like that? That's actually great.
This by having the knife fly back to Buggy instead, simply by reversing the animation. Episode 6. Number 46. The full blast of the Buggy Bomb has been cut. Number 47.
Why is it cut? Who knows?
I think because they don't want like an actual explosion having in there because it's too violent. If they cut normal punches, then I can see why they would cut an explosion and just leave in the smoke.
Why does 4Kids leave? Why does 4Kids still have Ash getting electrocuted every time? and Team Rocket and such.
I don't know. It makes no sense. It's for kids. Most of those things don't make sense. I just don't get it actually.
It's not for kids. It's for what the people who made the show thinks is for kids. They should really stick the safer properties for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, they didn't want to do One Piece. They were they had to do One Piece for the deal they wanted. I don't remember which it was. But still.
Name emoji's name has been changed to Beast Break emoji. Number 48. Beast Tame emoji's name has been changed to Beast Break emoji. Number 40.
How is that any better? If anything, that's a more brutal
Sounds more
title?
violent.
Yeah.
Also, I swear it sounds like he's saying the way he says it, it makes it sound like he's saying emoji.
It's fine. I don't know. That could have been just a dubbing mistake.
48. The scene in which Shushu bites Luffy's face has been changed to take place off screen. Number 49. Luffy strangling Shushu after he eats.
See, implied violence. They still have the scene, but it was off screen.
Take place off screen. Number 49. Luffy strangling Shushu after he eats the key was also removed. Number 50. Shushu's wounds have been edited to look less severe. Number 51. The text seen on the pet food has been removed, just in case you were worried about your kids reading anything while they watch a pet store burn to the ground after a lion just kicked the crap out of a dog. Number 52.
That scene had to been even more painstakingly to remove with the flame effects. Sheesh.
Oji's bite mark has been replaced with a bandage. Episode 7. Number 53. The smoke trails coming off Buggy's crew members that he used as a body shield have been edited out. However, the trails coming off Richie the Lion were left in. Number 54.
Bruh, they support animal abuse? Damn.
Kabaji's attacks that are focusing on Zoro's wounds from Buggy have been heavily censored. Number 55. A scene showing one of Buggy's crewmates eyeing up Nami's chest has been removed. Number 56. The damage received by Kabaji from Zoro has been heavily censored. Number 57. The name of Buggy's Chop Chop Rice Cracker ability has been changed to Chop Chop Buzzsaw. Number 58. Chop Chop Cannon was renamed Chop Chop Harpoon. Number 59. Luffy's face in...
That was really weird. Harpoon cannon. They still murder people. Just one's more fishing orientated.
I guess Harpoon makes sense because he's like dabbing you with 4 prongs. It's not like he's actually...
Yeah.
Injury from one of Buggy's attacks has been removed. Episode 8. Number 60. During Buggy's flashback where he is bickering about which pole is colder with Shanks, which, a little side note, 4Kids actually changed the conversation to be about which pole makes the best ice cubes. The scene of Rayleigh hitting them both on the head was removed. Number 61. The word danger has been removed from the canon cache.
Bruh.
Number 62. As Buggy stands up in order to go plunder the incoming ship, he can be seen holding 2 swords, one in each hand. When he appears again, he is seen stabbing another pirate with one of the swords, while in the 4Kids version, the sword was removed as to not imply Buggy had just killed the pirate. Number 63. The removed.
No, just grafted onto his forearm. What in the...
Oh god, that's such a bad edit. Why?
Now, if they actually completed that scene, it would look more like he just... Well, I'm sure there was a dialogue change. Or dialogue added where he's... Well, actually nothing really needed to show. But through context, they could have just been like Buggy just shoved the entire sword up that guy's chest.
Yeah, he just left it in.
Oh wait, I just noticed the sword, the knife armband.
That's horrible.
As to not imply Buggy had just killed the pirate. Number 63. The treasure map Buggy finds has been edited to include travel lines on it. Number 64.
What in the hell? This is an interesting one. Also, they added a compass. Strange.
Buggy finds has been edited to include travel lines on it. Number 64. The bottle of rum Shanks is holding through his and Buggy's conversation has been edited out, which is inconsistent with 4Kids' other edits where they would just change the colour of the bottle. Number 65. Luffy kicks Buggy in the balls to stop him from reaching Nami. In the 4Kids edit, Luffy kicks Buggy on the shin. Number 66. Gum Gum Bazooka has been changed to Gum Gum Double Barrel. And that does it for the first video. Has been changed to Gum Gum Double Barrel.
Yeah.
And that does it for the first video on every change in the 4Kids One Piece dub. After the first 8 episodes, our current total is at 66. Make sure to join me next time, where I'll be listing every change made during the Syrup Village arc. Don't forget to like if you liked it. And
Interesting how they just don't remove the actual lips instead of change any skin color or the such.
Yeah. Well, changing the lips would change a lot, but to change like Usopp's skin color entirely throughout the entire thing would probably be too much.
Alright, we said this. Well, I said this earlier, but if you want to do more of the other videos, I listed in the B-list chat, or continue on with the dub changes, either or maybe both.
Yeah, let's finish out the changes.
I mean, there's a lot of episodes.
Let's get through a few, then we'll
at least
try something else.
Or two more.
Get to the Baratier, or to the Red Line, or the.
I wonder what they did to Mihawk.
Baratier has
Millennial Dragon arc, whatever.
Baratier arc has more fun changes, what with the I'm not going to say in case someone doesn't know, so let's just say the Baratier has more fun changes.
I think I know what you mean. That's quite the good one.
And subscribe for future videos.
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to...
Welcome back to my series where I list every change 4Kids made to the One Piece anime. In this video, we'll be going through all the changes in episodes 9 to 18, which make up the Syrup Village arc. If you haven't done so already, then check out my previous video in this series where I go through the first 8 episodes. We will be starting our count from where we left off in the last episode, which was at 66. So let's get started. We'll actually be starting off this video with what I'll be calling a non-censor. This is where I'll mention any time that 4Kids either forgot to censor something that they previously censored, or even when they added something in themselves that I would have thought 4Kids wouldn't have approved of. One such non-censor is when Usopp is threatening Luffy and Zoro with his slingshot, and 4Kids adds the line of Luffy asking if Usopp is a gambling man and would he put his life on the line.
Well, I think you're bluffing. Are you a gambling man, Usopp? How much are you willing to bet we're bluffing? Would you stake your life on it? Would you?
In the original Japanese, there is no mention of gambling, which is why it's puzzling to me why 4Kids would add in an extra line of dialogue like that, especially considering the young audience they're trying to target would likely have no concept of gambling in the first place. I'll be listing more non-censors as and when they come. Now on to our first censor for this video. Episode 9. Number 67. The Usopp Pirates have been renamed the Veggie Pirates. Number 68. Yasopp's pistol has had its muzzle coloured orange. Number 69. The name Party Bar has been removed from the entrance of the bar. Number 70. The word milk has been removed from Luffy's cup of milk. Episode 10. Number 71. The cross-popping veins on Zoro's head have been removed, but the sound effect still remains.
He is strangely weird.
Number 72. The scene where Usopp is imagining pirates raiding Kaya's home and killing her has been completely removed. Number 73. The flashback of when Usopp and Kaya meet for the first time have also been removed.
What?
At this point...
Why was that removed?
Why?
What?
That's
What?
very weird. Very weird.
I get why they removed the killing scene, but the flashback of the meeting makes no sense to remove.
I feel like it's because like she was I'm trying to think.
It can't be to show people climbing up trees, since he didn't say any instances of Usopp and trees got cutouts. Also, that would be incredibly dumb.
Hey, you can't go see girls when they're just getting out of bed. That's creepy. Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
No.
4Kids have cut out so many scenes and episode padding from each episode that they're now having to use content from future episodes in order to reach the 22-minute runtime for its TV time slot. To continue keeping things simple, we will follow the episode count of the Japanese broadcast. Episode 11. Number 74. The flashback showing Usopp telling Kai his lies has been removed.
Is it because Usopp is a good character? Is that why they remove these scenes?
Look at all this Usopp slander. Look at all these changes to cut out Usopp content. This is terrible.
Or is it because they don't like Kaya? Or is it because Kaya...
No. Don't know.
Who knows?
Number 75. The pistol Mary is holding has been censored, changing its colour to blue and added an orange muzzle onto it. Number 76. The scene where Mary shoots Usopp and hits him in the arm has instead been edited, so Mary in fact misses the shot and Usopp walks away with no injury. Number 77 misses the...
Okay, so I'm guessing they didn't remove the scene where Usopp got hurt because of the marking on his face. Also, they didn't remove him using his slingshot on those bodyguards, which is an interesting detail.
The shot, and Usopp walks away with no injury. Number 77.
At least I found it interesting.
One of Kuro's crewmates that can be seen blowing fire out from his mouth has been censored to remove the fire.
Episode... that's dumb.
Episode 12. Number 78. Kuro slicing Mary down has been heavily censored, removing the scene in front of the curtains and any blood such as the blood on his claw blades. Number 79. The scene where Kuro is running his claw blades across Kaya's neck while she is sleeping has been edited to have his hand be replaced with a shadow of the same scene. Number...
Okay. Also, they shortened the blades again. Why have it in there if you're just gonna...
80. Similar to what happened with Zoro and his swords in episode 2, Kuro's claws have been shortened so they don't extend all the way to Kaya's neck. Number 81. The hammer smack to the face Usopp receives from one of Kuro's crewmates has been censored to remove the impact part of the hit. Number 82. In the Japanese version, Nami gets knocked over while fighting off Kuro's crewmates. In the 4Kids version, this scene has been completely removed, with any future scene of Nami on the ground being removed too. With the end of this episode, the 4Kids version of One Piece is now one full episode behind the Japanese broadcast. That means throughout the last 12 episodes, somehow 4Kids has removed around 22 minutes of content. Episode 13. Number 83. Luffy's Gum Gum Gatling move has been renamed Gum Gum Rapid Fire. Number 84. In Kaya's dream sequence, 4Kids removed the part showing the close-up of Usopp's sword in Kaya's face. Number 85. Merry's injuries that he...
shorten that one down then. They've done it with every other scene, why couldn't they just shorten down the blade for that scene?
This is definitely because of the foresight, or lack thereof, on actually trying to edit these scenes.
I can't imagine what the actual process for making this was, because it feels like, to a degree, there's someone like hovering over them going, you have to edit out this scene, but eventually he left for a bit, and then some things just got through and others didn't. That's my only explanation.
Especially with the rechange in the dialogue with Luffy referencing gambling. A specific character that has sort of a reference to gambling gets a name change, and I want you to think about that.
Received from Kuro has been censored.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean.
Number 86. Zoro slices one of the Meowban brothers through the stomach in the Japanese, while 4Kids toned down the extent of the slice. Number 87.
That's extremely weird, considering. But he just still got slashed, therefore, no.
The injury Zoro receives in return by the Meowban brothers has been censored to remove any blood. Number 88. Nami has also had her injuries from Django censored to remove the blood coming from her wounds.
Everything they have is inside is a black void.
Episode 14. Number 89. In the title sequence of episode 14, or episode 13 in the 4Kids version, the animation of the water has been completely replaced. I even checked the Funimation dub of this scene just to make sure it wasn't a case of Toei updating the animation, but the water in the Funimation dub is consistent with the Japanese broadcast, so I guess someone at 4Kids just had too much time on their hands. Number 90. Captain Kuro's pussyfoot
I guess that was just a flex. They wanted to flex on. They wanted to flex on Toei. You see, sorry, there's something in my throat. You said something, Peon?
Yeah, I said that's a change that makes absolutely no sense. Why would they change the water, the opening bit?
It's called a flex. Yeah, I don't know.
maneuverability has been renamed Stealth Walk. Number 91.
Stealth
Similar
Walk.
to the scene in Kaya's bedroom, Kuro's claws have been edited to be further away from the Meowban brothers' faces. Number 92. The Meowban brothers' injuries from Zoro have been censored. Number 93. Kaya's pistol has been replaced with a slingshot. Non-censor number 2. 4Kids actually uses the original Japanese word Santoru for Zoro's free sword style, instead of translating it into English. Even the Funimation dub translates it to free sword style, so this is definitely an oddity when it comes to the 4Kid version.
The art of Santoru is not like using just any 3 swords.
Carrying 3 swords won't help you at all, unless you know 3 sword style.
They even keep it up until Grand Adventure, which is practically the last... No, it's definitely the last thing 4Kids ever done with One Piece. And I can show it.
Yeah, I've seen a couple instances of them just not bothering to translate some Japanese stuff, just leaving it as is.
Not just Japanese. What's it called again? Oh, whatever. No, wait a minute. Now that I'm remembering it, I'm pretty sure they actually changed it to like one sword to so and so sword. I just get a taste of these characters.
Hey, look, it's Zolo.
Here I go! Not done yet!
I'll finish you now. Pitiful. Weakling.
As you can tell, they gave him a French accent.
That is so bad.
It's not that bad. I can see why.
My black sword
I
will
don't
end
know why
you.
they gave. I can see why they gave him, but it sounds really, really good.
The actual accent is a little bad.
I mean, like how the word choice and how it delivered. I find that sounds quite odd.
Did they get Tenaru?
No. They didn't even do. They didn't do Jaya. Jaya onward is when they stopped the dub.
Yeah, the dub ends with them seeing a ship fall from the sky and everyone died. The end.
The priests and Enaru do have voices, though you can, as far as I know, the priests only show up in Ohms. Well, now I say that Ohm is a playable character in Grand Adventure, and you hear the other priests in his special.
30 million volts. I am a Skylord.
I don't know what he said.
You.
And from that, you heard him say 100 million volts vary. So they kept some of his names the same. Oh, he's gonna do 10,000 volts Jambu and like 30,000 volts, so on. They keep his name named attacks, which is very interesting.
30 million volts. I am a Skylord.
But this, I think he said something like full volt, which is a little weird. I mean, he still has L4, if I remember. Yeah, he still has L4, but, well, technically that is an L4, so, whatever.
You fool! Nobody can stop me! 200 million volt body! Get ready for a zap! This is hopeless! Ragao! Now for some fun!
Wait, pause real quick.
Yeah.
Does that fucking say trace?
Like I said earlier,
God.
the reference to gambling,
Oh
reference to gambling was completely removed. Therefore,
no.
Ace
God,
is named Portgas D Trace.
Also, Chaser.
Smoking. So.
He ate the chase fruit.
The plume fruit.
Oh. This is
I
funny.
thought I remembered what you meant by they changed the character with gambling name. I forgot that Trace was a thing. It's so bad. It's terrible. Why would they do this?
You can't even mention
They're not a real.
cards
They're
in
not
general.
real
That's
gambling
so.
men. Poor kids.
Here I go!
Also, little dubbing issue. You heard him say Heat Fist. They named the Okay, I don't really remember his Japanese name, but the Heat. Actually, I don't even remember what his devil fruit's called. Damn. Whatever. It's called the Heat fruit now. Yeah, it's called the Heat fruit now, which is a close approximation to the actual name of the fruits, but why they actually called it Heat is beyond me since he's spewing actual fire.
Well, the onomatopoeia means like sizzle or something, so.
Yeah. I think it would be the sizzle food if you would correctly translate it, but I think heat food is okay, but fire food is obviously more in line with what it does.
His nickname is the Fire Fist, so I'm not sure if it's Fire Fist in Japanese, but it's Fire Fist.
He got stuck! Run back! Chaka, help! Look out! He comes straight! You won't escape!
Extremely quick.
Here I go! You won't get away!
Okay, I heard it. Also, what the hell is with the Tashigi's voice actor sounding shit? I mean, the actual talents. I'm not trying to quotate that and like there's no talent, but there is some talent in the 4Kids voice cast roster, but for some of the females, they just barely emotes.
Oh yeah, I looked it up, and in Japanese it's called Hiken, which is literally just Fire Fist.
Might be a point to the voice directors or not being good and or the voice actors themselves not caring.
Or they just
Zoro's voice actor.
Or they're just actually bad.
That too. Zoro's voice actor was one of the better ones from the original dub.
Oh wait, yeah. I see this guy, this blank Navy man, has Navy on their cap, so they couldn't bother to change the actual. Well, actually, I'm not even certain if they're able to change the. You know how their caps and everything related to the Navy just changed to Marine. So, I'm just saying they didn't censor this game for kids because the guy's cap.
You won't. Take this, smoke screen. I have no time for losers. Smoke strike.
Smoke strike.
Giant fly!
Oh, yeah. Apparently, not apparently, in this special, there's supposed to be text over Luffy in the middle of his shadow boxing scene. So I guess they actually did censor something.
They changed the Marine to Navy, didn't they? On the other theme.
I have no time for losers.
Orders.
No, in the scene with Toshigi, I think it was, where on the head of the Marine soldiers that said Navy.
Well, on these borders, they say Marine, so my ass was just straight up not remembering anything.
You won't escape! Here I go! You won't get away!
Yeah, I'm blind. Oh well.
You better watch it!
They somehow keep the rifles, though. I guess that would be a little bit too much effort. Retexturing, remodeling.
I suppose so.
Now, what did Luffy say there? Gum
Gum burst. Burst.
All right, yeah, because that's what the freaking technique is called. My ass could not associate, even though he didn't sound like he said burst. KFC mouths.
Rhino rampage! Triple sword, soaring Phoenix! Single sword, lion strike!
There he didn't, say
Even
Centauri.
three sword, it's triple sword.
Yeah, he said triple sword style. Okay, he said Centauri there for some reason.
That makes no sense.
You see, he's getting serious, so he uses the real name.
The Japanese pronunciation.
Centauri! 3,000 worlds!
And there they keep the kanji for Zoro's special?
That's so inconsistent.
Chop chop harpoon! The last laugh's mine! Here's the punchline! Buggy balls! Have a nice flight!
Boogie's special had a very nice soundtrack associated with it. Pretty spicy. Also, since he's a clown, they have to, make clown allusions and analogies. I'm pretty sure whenever he actually, did his special in Japanese, he would say something about murder or dying spectacularly / flashily, which is the biggest shame because we don't get the dice flashily anymore.
Precious Cutlass!
Sandstorm! Wasteland Tremor! Wasteland Cataclysm!
In that, they changed the name, but if I remember this correctly, they actually kept the original naming of Crocodile's move in the show, which is... Yeah, take what you will from that. Oh, well, he did name that attack Desert Cutlass. Wait, no, that's not what he said in the... Never mind. Unless that is...
Here I go! Tornado Tempest! Get blown away! Ouch! What? Be careful of the real one, too! Bingo!
Usopp! Rubber band! You jerk! Take this! Lead star! My special! Exploding star! Smoke star!
Oh, as you saw, there's it's called oil instead of the actual alcohol. Another censorship.
Star! My special! Exploding star! Smoke star! Usopp!
What's that in the
How's
background?
that?
Oh, that's the his crewmates as
His 1,000
cardboard.
men.
Yeah, as cardboard. That's actually a nice detail.
Also, with Usopp, he has 2 special victories when you win with his specials. I mean, you don't get to see it since, well, the AI doesn't die from the specials, but with Usopp, when he wins, he twirls around his 5-ton hammer and his pirate crew show up in the background and he says win. But when you win, the actual hammer breaks apart, which Usopp is the only one with 2 special victories, 2 unique special victory animations. I just wanted to lay that down since Usopp is the best character. Not specifically in this game, but in general.
Where are you looking? Vanish! Stealth walk! You make me yawn.
They still name it Stealth Walk in this game.
I tire of this troublesome life.
But yet they call it
Out of the bag attack!
in both the dub and the game. So I guess they didn't just want to call it the Pussyfoots.
I'll show you Merman's strength! What's the difference between you and me?
And one thing I really don't like is how the inhuman characters like Arlong and... Well, I'm pretty sure it's just Arlong and Chopper have some sort of voice filter. That's... I would... Well, for me, it's pretty grating on the ears.
Still don't know? It's... our species!
Alright, I just realized I made everything go off topic, sort of. We're still technically talking about the 4K dub, but we're not really talking about the anime.
Taking the power of the tangents, Leo.
I'll just show Bon Clay and Sanji since they're the most egregious. Oh, With Sanji in this game, if he does his special on a female, the some lines of dialogue gets changed. Also, he has a heart eye.
Here I come. Hit your aim. Tenderloin leg, gut stuffer. You joke. The main course is about to be served. Butterloin breakdown, rump roast wrecker, toy meat tenderizer, joint jammy jam, prime cut cake. Surprise!
Well, I'm pretty sure as you heard, they're actually gonna show it. Well, as you
I
heard,
really don't like the voice acting.
all his name, all the French names for his attacks are, food based. So that's a big change for Sanji.
Here I come. Oh, love. Wandering love. What beauty. I've been struck, I've been broken by sweet, wonderful love. I love you so much.
So he apparently has a different change in his special. That's also interesting.
I do notice that it does less damage, which is less crippling than what it is in recent games.
I think in recent games he can just not do anything against them.
Practically nothing to them.
Yeah, I've seen people end up against Sanji versus women and just quit.
I mean, he can do something since he drains their, of course, referring to burning blood, drains their meter when they get hit by his attack, but he does no damage. Also, he staggers. Oh no, his moveset gets completely removed. That's why.
Don't even think of running away! Here I come! Tiptoe kick! Spinning summer! Pirouette! I'll show you! One! Over here!
Why did they leave all the Japanese stuff in there?
I do not know. I guess Luffy doesn't deserve Japanese. Also, if you didn't notice, his names of his moves are changed, but he still said pirouettes in the middle of the attack, so it's not all French. I mean, was it French? Whatever language it was, the Bankley does. Also, he has his Okama Kempo, or Oka My Way Kempo, as the dub call it, changed to just Crazy Karate. Well, since Ohm is next, whatever. You don't care about Ohm and the Four Priests.
Episode 15. Number 94. The Usopp pirates' weapons have been changed from baseball bats and shovels to colourful cooking utensils.
That's cringe. I'm going back on a strong point if I say so myself.
Number 95. Luffy getting kicked in the face by Captain Kuro has been censored. Number 96. In Captain Kuro's flashback, the impaled swords and wounds on the marines that have been killed by Kuro are removed. Episode 16. Number 97. Kuro's head wound that he received from Luffy smashing a rock in his face has been censored. Number 98. Kuro's out of the bag special ability has been renamed to Cat out of the bag. Number 9.
Okay, I guess it's changed to Cat out of the bag instead of just out of the bag. Yeah. Yes, writer. I heard someone toggle never mind then.
Yeah, that was me. I thought I wanted to say something, but I just wanted to say that I don't get that change. But just saying that over and over again is kind of pointless.
99. The Black Cat Pirates have had their wounds and tattoos censored in the fight between Luffy and Kuro. Number 100. While trying to help save Kaya, the Usopp pirates ambush Django, with Onion shoving Pepper in his face before running off. In the 4Kids version, Onion can still be seen running out with the Pepper Shaker to attack Django, but the scene of him actually peppering Django has been removed, before he then runs away again while still mentioning the fact that he just attacked Django with a pepper attack.
I got him good with that pepper blinding powder.
That's what
Number
Onion sounds
101.
like. What the fuck? They couldn't. Whatever. Also, why did they change that if they're just gonna implied chemical warfare? There, I said it.
Number 101. In the Japanese, Kaya steals Django's ring blade and threatens to kill herself if Django doesn't let the Usopp pirates go. In the 4Kids version, they obviously had to remove the reference to suicide, so instead, Kaya steals the blades to use against Django, but because she is inexperienced, the so-called chakra the weapon holds forces the blades to turn on her, and she is instead trying to pull it away from her neck.
Either you let them go, or I'll use your weapon against you, and don't think I'm bluffing.
Wait! The chakram is too powerful for an amateur to hold! It will turn on you!
Number 100.
That's Django's voice?
What?
That's Django's voice?
Apparently.
Little girl, you gotta stop the bad vibes.
Their chakra will hurt you!
The magical chakra will turn against you. Wow.
Oh wait, does that mean Django has cursed blades? Damn.
I suppose he does.
Django, I've the cursed blade that makes me the best swordsman in the One Piece world.
What is his ranking, I wonder? Maybe
Probably
217?
something low since he's a East Blue Lander.
I am the 10th ranked swordsman, but you see, I'm actually the 0 ranked swordsman.
So, if he's the rank 0, is he the ruler of Swordsman Island?
Oh, he was the previous ruler of the Muggy Kingdom where Mihawk resides. He had to leave to join his life as a black pirate member.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see. I wonder why they didn't show it in the original.
Yeah, Django was a side character apparently. Oda's a coward.
Yeah. Yeah, why does he already reveal that stuff in the SBS? We really need to make time in the actual manga to explain all this stuff.
Man, Drizzt is a bum.
102. After Kaya writes the will for Django, he pins her up against a tree while holding her around the neck. 4Kids instead removes Django's thumb to make it look like he's holding her up by the shoulder. Episode 17. Number 103. This episode surprisingly only has one change made in it, with the Guy Mary having its name changed to SS Mary Go.
Bruh, what? Okay, I didn't know that since they didn't really say the name of the Mary in the One Piece games. Oh, well, the 4Kids title One Piece, you know, whatever. But SS, I guess it's just for a comedic type of name.
I mean, I think that's kind of funny actually, because it's called something Merry Go in the Japanese.
Really?
Yeah, let me look it up. It's called...
It's not just called the Merry Go?
It's called Going Merry Go in the Japanese.
Will blow me down.
Episode 18. Number 104. The letters WB have been removed from Nami's shirt. Number 105. Treasure Island has been renamed to Golden Island, quite likely for copyright reasons. Number
Isn't
1.
Treasure Island like 1,000 years old? Whatever.
Yeah. Yes, but in Japan, copyright can be quite tricky. Wait, no, that's the official dub. Forget what I said. Anyway, some copyright stuff can still be quite tricky,
Hence why
even
Zoro's
if
name
it's
is
already in
changed.
public domain.
Yeah, even though it's not Zoro with 2 R's, so even
I
though
think they just went to go it with the Caesar.
106. Gaimon's pistol has been recolored. This is actually the least censored gun we've seen so far. Number 107. The text on the pirate's tattoo has been removed, despite it being on screen for such a short amount of time, and is basically unreadable. That's it for this episode. Our current total is now at 107. Join me next time as we go through episodes 19 to 30 of the Brago D arc. If you like the series so far and want to see more, then do let me know in the comments. Also,
yeah. Oh wait, wrong one. My technique is failing me. I'll forget it.
welcome back to my series where I list every change 4Kids made to the One Piece anime. This episode, we're listing off the changes in the Brago D arc, starting from episode 19 through to episode 30. If you haven't done so already, be sure to watch the previous episodes in the series, so you're caught up with all the changes 4Kids have made so far. We will be making a few changes of our own to this series, in order to streamline the process of each episode and how I list each censor. I'll be collating certain similar types of edits together for a better viewing experience. Each group of edits will count as one change per anime episode. I have 3 types of edits currently that I'll be starting to group together, which are text that has been edited or censored, minor scenery changes such as removal of wine bottles or the colour of wine being changed, and injuries received by minor characters. Major characters will still get a change for every injury they receive per fight. This will only affect mostly background characters with a few exceptions. These kinds of edits are normally only on screen for a short amount of time, and are quite common edits made by 4Kids, so there's no need to list each of them separately and waste time doing so. Carrying on from the last episode, our current total is at 107, so let's get started. Episode 19. Number 108. The red mark seen on Zoro's face from being smacked by a bamboo sword has been censored. Number 109. Kuwaina groping her breasts in front of Zoro was, you guessed it, removed. Number 110. Kuwaina's death has been censored in the 4Kids version, changing her death from slipping in the storehouse to instead being beaten up and injured by a rival student that she had won against in a sword fight, and didn't like the fact that he was bested by a girl.
It's worse.
Which leads to...
That's increasingly worse. What the hell?
Now she can't do sword practicing anymore, which is worse than just... It's in...
That even makes less sense since her technique as a, swordswoman, whatever, would of course help her aid in an actual fight. So the guy must have, done in it in like such a must have been a specific moment where said swordsman beat her up.
That she had won against in a sword fight, and didn't like the fact that he was bested by a girl, which leads to her never being able to sword fight again. Number 111. Due to Kuwaina not being dead, the scene of Zoro mourning her death in front of her tombstone was removed. Episode 20. Number 112. The water on the title screen has once again been edited and replaced with a different animation.
Wait,
what's more baffling...
King of the... since this is the Brago D thing, I'm pretty sure they meant to say chore boy, but there's no buses in the middle of the ocean.
No, that's correct. Busboy is like a cooking thing.
That is a term that can be used, yeah.
But he's been specifically called chore boy, right? Unless something in a Japanese.
I only know he's specifically called that only because that one video that Mark made where Chora Boy equals Joy Boy. Somehow.
Is that this arc is set around water, but at no other time will we see any further editing of the water animation. Number 113. The opening wine bottle scene with full body has been removed. The stem of each wine glass has also been edited out. Number 114. Wine bottles from the scenery and the colour of the wine have been censored. Number 115. Johnny's bloody nose, along with Yasaku's injuries, have all been censored.
Not to mention Johnny's nose. Look at that. Also, they didn't remove Johnny's kanji. Impressive. Whatever.
Bloody nose, along with Yasaku's injuries, have all been censored. Number 100.
Wait, so it's not scurvy? Oh wait, just the injuries. Never mind. I misheard.
Along with Yasaku's injuries have all been censored. Number 116. 2 Marines have had their weapons censored, but a little later on you can see them both in the background with their original uncensored weapons. Number 117. When looking at the wanted posters, the text stating "Dead or Alive" has been removed. Number 118. Zeph's injuries from the cannonball impact are censored. Number 119. Another well-known 4Kids change that you'll see in most top 10 videos is Sanji's cigarette, which has been changed to a red lollipop. This is quite a significant change due to Sanji's cigarette being a defining character trait, which means there were hundreds of edits 4Kids likely had to do over the course of dubbing One Piece. To keep things simple, any scene showing Sanji with a cigarette in his mouth or in his hand has been censored, while any scene showing Sanji lighting his cigarette were removed. Also, these edits will only count as one change only. Number 120. Full Body's injuries have been censored. Episode 21. Number 121. Text from a mirror and the restaurant menu seen on the sign in the background have been removed. WC text located above the bathroom has also been removed. Number 122. The colour of the wine has been recolored to green. Number 123. Just before.
Also, when I when I was reading the manga of One Piece, let's see, the bathroom. Was it the bathroom and the kitchen were swapped, or was it just the kitchen was on the same level as the whatever? The actual kitchen, if you've seen the anime, it was up on the staircase, but when I read it in the manga, it seems as though the kitchen was actually on the floor level next to the guests on the dining area, which I find a very interesting change in the anime.
That is curious, but I haven't read those chapters in quite a long while, so I would have to reread them, which I actually plan to do for quite a while.
The kitchen on the same level as the dinees, the customers, is what I meant.
Before Gin enters the Barati, a Marine flies through the door to warn everyone inside. The Marine is then shot and killed by Gin from behind. 4Kids censored this by badly animating Gin kicking the Marine in the back. Number 124. Adding to the previous edit, the scenes showing Gin with a gun have been completely removed. Number 125. The blood on Gin's face has been censored. Episode 22.
I'm guessing he did get whacked by Patty's forearm then.
Number 126. Sanji kicking a chef in the face has been removed. and later in the episode, Don Craig shooting at the chefs has also been removed. Number 127. Sanji hitting his head on the ground from Don Craig's attack and the resulting injuries have been censored. Number 128. When the Bharati chefs surround Sanji to stop him from going to cook for Craig's crewmates, the swords and pans are redrawn further away from Sanji's neck. Number 1.
On the swords and pans, they were actually firearms, threatening Sanji to not actually help Krieg and the such. I find that interesting, considering later on, the said cooks also bring up the actual weapons that defended Barachier when Krieg actually delivers the food. So, an interesting detail.
That really is interesting, I did not know that.
129. The colour of Don Craig's pistols have been recolored, yet none of his mounted weapons have had the same treatment.
This is true military might!
Episode 23.
Krieg's voice is somewhere around that deep and raspy.
True military might! Yeah.
Number 100.
Don Krieg. On Flamingo.
This is weapon power!
130. All the Bharati chefs have had their injuries censored. Number 131. The word war has been removed from the back of this pirate's shirt. Number 132. Don Craig shooting and killing one of his crewmates was removed from the 4Kids version. Episode 24. Number 133. Yosaku's cigarette, like Sanji's, has been edited out. Number 100.
Interesting, since he just came off of scurvy only a few weeks ago. Or a week ago.
134. Mihawk's sword's handle was shortened to look less like a religious cross. They also edited his necklace in a similar fashion. Number 1.
Didn't really edit. Did they edit? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't edit the crosses off of Mihawk in the Grand Adventure games, which I'm pretty sure you should know since you always saw what I said.
135. Zoro's injuries received during the fight between Mihawk have been heavily censored, including removing Zoro getting stabbed in the chest. Number 136. Text has again been removed from multiple pirate shirts and headbands. Episode 25. Number 137. In this scene, and this scene only, both the text Bharati and restaurant were removed from the outside of the Bharati ship. No scene previously and restaurant were
Also,
removed
that
from
flag
the
was different.
Yeah, what the?
Oh, I
scene-
think I know why they had to do that. I think they couldn't remove the text while the flag was there, so they removed the text and then overlaid with an old flag of their own because they couldn't change it while the flag was there, and that had editing issues. I suppose is the issue. So the reason why it's that way.
Yeah, both the flags changed too.
Yeah, because like that's an overlay, and they didn't want to change every frame of that, so they just took a still picture and overlaid their own animated flag. So they had less work, I think. That's why
Relatively
they did it
less work.
I mean, it's still a lot of work drawing the flags, but yeah.
Only, both the text Bharati and restaurant were removed from the outside of the Bharati ship. No scene previous to this that
Also,
showed
the flags didn't have a similar frame count as the original flag, so
Yeah, of course not. Making it a lot of frames would be far too much work.
unnecessary.
I mean, if they would make the flag that much animation frames, they could just remove the text behind the original animated flags.
Also, I don't remember if the Barachier got censored in Grand Adventure when I was playing it. Just putting up trivia.
the outside of the ship had the text removed, and the same can be said for the rest of the arc too. Number 138. Don Craig killing another one of his crew members was again removed. Number 139. Pearl's injuries that Sanji inflicted were censored. Number 140.
Pearl's voice. I forgot. I was really taken aback when I heard Pearl's voice. Was it a surfer guy? Apologies. I'm gonna look that up.
I think it was a surfer voice.
Because they made this guy have a surfer voice. Why you say it like that?
What's up, bros? Allow me to introduce myself. The name is Pearl, or the Invincible Iron Wall, in case you're not into the brevity thing.
Iron Wall? I guess that still works, but that's interesting.
Despite the fact that any scene that included Gin using his pistol was censored or removed up until now, Gin is shown holding Zeph hostage with a pistol that 4Kids have shortened and recolored. Number 141. More text has once again been removed from pirate shirts.
It's so unnecessary.
Episode
God
26. Damn. Number 142. Episode 20 has once recolored.
In this scene, it was censored, not only in 4Kids, but in the actual print of the anime. You see, Gin, as you can see with his left arm, has a clenched fist. When he was dealing with Zeph from behind, he actually tore off his peg leg. He tore off his peg leg, knocked him down. There was a panel of Zeph's peg leg missing. Patty said something, so on and so forth. I guess they wanted to censor the peg leg scene.
Number 141. More text has once again been removed from pirate shirts. Episode 26. Number 142. Sanji being attacked by Pearl was toned down and his injuries censored. Number 143 toned down. Number 142.
Yeah.
Sanji being attacked by Pearl was Sanji.
This shot got ripped from the manga. I remember this distinct blood spatter shot. That's pretty cool.
Being attacked by.
And this part was also a panel in the manga, though it got a zoom in.
Pearl was toned down and his injuries censored.
This one too.
Number 143. The legendary sea, known as the All Blue, where the 4 seas of the One Piece world supposedly meet, has been renamed the Great Blue. Number 144. Luffy's Gum Gum Battle Axe has been renamed to just Gum Gum Axe. Number 145. The plank of wood revealing the to be continued end screen has been removed from the end of the episode. Episode 27. Number 146. The position of Gin's iron ball has been redrawn further away from Sanji's neck. Number 147. Just as Gin is about to finish Sanji off, Sanji spits his cigarette at Gin, causing him to miss and then kicks him in the head, injuring him. This scene was removed by 4Kids. Episode 28. Number 148. Due to being heavily poisoned by Don Craig's missile attack, Gin starts to succumb to his poisoning and lunges back in agony, spewing blood. 4Kids must have considered this too dark for a kids show, as they changed the scene to instead have Sanji punch Gin, even added in a sound effect to make it more believable.
Hold it! This mask is yours!
Which doesn't really fit the context of the scene, as Gin just risked his life to save Sanji from being poisoned, and put Sanji in a bad light. Number 104.
Also, whatever. I won't say this one.
49. Don Craig's poison bullets have been edited to look more like suction cups. Number 150. Luffy's injuries have been censored by 4Kids. Episode 29. Number 151. Gum Gum Giant Gavel has been renamed Gum Gum Giant Hammer. Number 152. 4Kids removed Sanji punching Luffy while he is asleep. Episode 30. Number 153. Cigarette packets have been edited out of the background in Sanji's bedroom. Number 154. Patty and Kane's injuries have been censored. Number 155.
Yeah, they still show them getting hit. Yeah.
The text, Wine and Cheese, has been removed from the book in Zeph's office. Strangely, no other book was harmed by 4Kids. And once again, we have reached the end of another arc, and therefore another video. The Bharati arc has a total of 49 changes in it, bringing our overall total up to 155. I hope you join us next time as we head to Nami's hometown in our next video on the Arlem Park story arc, episodes 31 to 44. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. Hello and welcome to another video where we sift through all the changes 4Kids made to One Piece. We're making some good progress.
Do you guys want to do the rest of the listed videos that I posted in the B-list chat now?
Yeah, we've gotten as much as we can out of this one.
Because y'all not really say anything. Nor I. I've been trying.
Yeah,
you can't really say that much about it.
I mean,
just
all my
things that
information
happen.
about all my information about the One Piece manga to anime is pretty much done. I haven't gone past Barachier.
Yeah, this is just listing things. I want to say things, but this is the thing that happens. Like, okay, can't really do much with presenting information.
Who wants to watch Genlock?
You could go along with the One Piece designs.
You know what? It's time for.
I was gonna bring up that Krieg was about to shoot his MH5, but he didn't actually shoot the projectile. He shoot a shuriken bomb when when Luffy first tried to charge at Don Krieg. He shot a different projectile, a shuriken bomb. I should have said that. They didn't have that in the anime, if you didn't know.
I mean, they put on my analytics.
I mean, I didn't really want to do this, but since it's short and it has Drizzt in it, I felt like I wanted to. So,
that's a really, really contentious topic as well.
If nothing really gets said, then I'm just gonna drop this video.
Yeah, that sounds like
you know what? It's time for me to put on my analytical hat and get this thing going and put aside joking.
This nigga. I don't know. I feel like the chapter came out a long time ago.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Came out Thursday, and I felt like I don't know.
The old Drizzt logo.
The conversation kind of shifted totally away from the chapter in the community, and it went straight to Zoro versus Sanji.
Of course it did.
And
because these fucking like power tards can't fucking help themselves, like fucking power scaling after every single like chapter. Like, can't even talk about.
I don't even think that was the reason for.
Well, no, but it's like it is because like you can't any chapter where there's a fight, it's like automatically like some stupid power scaling discussion like instantly. Yeah. We can't even like talk about like the plot or anything. It's like has Sanji taken more L's and I don't know. It's just like so stupid.
Yeah, in a way, it's kind of like you're just I guess responding to some of the arguments from back then, where somebody said something about, oh, Zoro can't do this, and Zoro does it. You're like, I told y'all he could do this. I told y'all. And it's like it brings back up the whole
This
seems that there are many
honestly
people
just like premature backlash because the entirety of Whole Cake Island was just the reverse side, making fun of Sanji.
Yeah.
But like, here's the thing, like it's weird because I think the Sanji stands who are doing this, they're jumping at the wrong opportunity because they're kind of devaluing themselves. Because if you really want to get into like Zoro Tard's asses, wait till something definitive happens and then milk it as hard as you can. If you go with every little opportunity, it just makes you look ridiculous.
I'll say this
my
about
advice is what Sanji stands.
and what I've noticed as well is that people are trying to supplement the excessive love Zoro gets with unnecessary hate. Like it seems like he gets so much love.
He does get a lot of love.
Yeah, he gets a lot of love.
Well, I'm saying like for a lot of the Sanji fans, well, the rational ones that I've seen,
there's some rational ones, Brago.
I've seen some rational ones.
Micro characterization.
Yeah, shout out to Cole. They're basically using it as a tactic to kind of rile up the Zoro fans, where it's like they're not serious about it.
I'm guessing you crashed, Ryder.
That I did, yes. I'm back now.
Well, they haven't been saying anything really.
No, they're just talking about how the fanbase fights, which is, I agree, quite annoying, and they're like just insulting both sides of the argument there, I think, without saying really anything.
One Piece designs then?
About it. But it's kind of like showing them how sensitive they are.
Yeah, I do think they are pretty serious about it.
Oh man,
I mean, I'm serious in the fact that you're trolling.
Man, I like Sanji, but it's like, come on, like
you guys. I'll find something or two as well. Do you realize that every time when they talk about their feats, they always try to compare what Sanji can do to what Zoro do against Pika? Like it seems as if
it's the most recent thing.
No. It seems they carry an inferiority complex about in terms of how much destructive damage they can exude.
Well, I think Zoro is definitely more destructive. I don't think there's an argument there, right? I don't think nobody argues that.
You'd be surprised.
Why that's an argument to begin with. I feel like if you're talking power scaling in One Piece and you start to use DC, I feel like you just make your own argument irrelevant.
Yeah, DC is not something.
It's honestly something that's so irrelevant to battle.
Yeah,
how much value do you place
only time
in
that
DC?
matters is like something like Dragon Ball.
It's like rare
to be more impactful in terms of.
I don't care who you are.
I have no idea what they're trying to say.
If you're a human being with two eyes and a heart.
Here's the thing.
So if you could get an accurate gauge of how strong somebody is without those additions, you could properly gauge how strong they are to their overall potential.
Well, then you're taking away what makes them unique, and then what's the argument?
Yeah,
it's like saying take away someone's devil fruit, but they trained their lives with it to make themselves
so Lando,
but that's the only objective way you can.
No, it isn't the only.
Lando, look at this, right? Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy, they're physically like they're monsters, right?
Yeah.
Law is not a physical monster, but
that's his fault.
What do you mean that's his fault?
But what I'm saying, Law gets on that level because of his unbelievable fruit. If we take that away, do you think that's fair?
I agree that Oda have somewhat merged the characters' overall base power with their additional powers that they have. What I'm saying is, for you to get an objective metric, you're gonna have to strip everything away and look at them at their
There
base.
is no objective metric because even if you take away their powers, there's no objective way to measure hockey.
Oda would have to give us like
Oh wow, he did say that. Armament hockey, maybe, but there is definitely instances where we see people have a superior hockey armaments.
I actually think that's not what he's trying to say. There is no, to bring up the guard of it, their hockey does not have power levels, so you can't say this hockey is that strong, that hockey is that strong. You can only when they're clashing, you can compare them, but otherwise you cannot really. We have no metric to rank their hockey strength, which I think is actually correct. And I'm taking his words in the most favorable way here. Which I maybe shouldn't.
Because I would say Stritch. I feel Drizzt would be saying. I feel that's not Drizzt is saying, but we're being fair to him, which is shouldn't really because it's Drizzt.
I mean, yeah, I'm just being nice here, but if I'm being honest, which probably means something else, which is completely ridiculous, but that would be going off his other track record. But I guess we'll just have to listen to him what else he says there about that.
I was missing up on Meme Spice's comments in the B-list chat. The blood on Geen was most likely from the original print of the anime. I'm pretty sure they removed the actual blood, maybe even the skin color change on Geen in the 4Kids dub. Unless I saw that scene incorrectly.
There's no objective way to measure hockey.
Oda would have to give us like a book without like giving us those statistics. We don't have those statistics.
Sorry, Brago. I'm saying just if you attempt to make an objective, that's the only way you go about it. If you completely shoot them across the board and just say, well, Zoro is this, Luffy's that.
That's hard to do. That's hard.
That's it's hard to do. I'm not saying it's possible, but that's the only way you can actually attempt.
And even then, that doesn't determine anything because the person who has less stats could still beat another person in a fight that has more stats.
Yeah, One Piece has set it up like Oda has given himself an out.
Environment and all that.
You mean when he got hit to the railing? Yeah, I got nothing for that. They just dropped the ball on the censorship there.
Even in a real fight, like if we're both equally, like let's say me and you are both rich, but you're more up than me, I can just be better fighter than you.
That's not possible.
And beat your ass. Like that isn't like even though you're physically stronger and physically faster than me, doesn't mean I can't beat you in a fight.
I mean that's why the power scaling thing in One Piece is so cancerous, just because we don't know enough, and a lot of things are not definitive. So you kind of have to headcanon it.
You mean like feats and
like
special, not specials, feats, and I forget the term. A unique characteristic of the character. Feats and I forget what it's called, but you know, like Law's fruit to like Garp's hockey, and since everyone has hockey and you can, you know, sort of rank hockey, but there's only one devil fruit for each, and yeah.
Counters?
Not counters. I wanted to say special, but that's far too vague, and that's not what it's called.
Your mini property?
Not properties. Hacks. Yes, hacks. That's it. Comparing stats to hacks is what they're trying to do. Hacks as in a unique ability a character has. A hacks.
Oh, yeah.
I feel that's just a general problem in like power debating in general, is that like that's going to be a problem of any series. It's not a problem unique to One Piece, hacks versus stats.
But they're trying to compare hacks to stats. At least they're trying.
It is the problem.
Well, I believe power debates are in its entirety flaw, but that's a different topic in its entirety.
I mean, you can compare power levels, not power levels like in the
yes, if you like have objective stats, you can compare that. But if you, as a person, have to rank the characters and attacks yourself, then it's of itself does not work, I think. And even then, I don't think that unless you're doing it for fun, has any merit at all. It's just such fights.
And a lot of things are not definitive, so you kind of have to headcanon it through. And you know, when we get there, that's when everybody has their own headcanon. Then we run into issues, but a lot of things we just don't know. But I guess that creates the conversation in the first place. So it's kind of like a cycle that we really can't get out of. So when it happens, it's just like
you are the least
pretty
person
much
to complain about headcanons.
Also, I'm pretty sure a strong feat is Zoro cutting Pika, but then we have a stronger feat where a mountain got pretty much incinerated. So, we can say Zoro's strongest technique was used against Pika, and we can say the melting blowing getting incinerated is another level of feat. So it's not impossible. It might be very hard, but there's definitely ways you can just. And then Tank Man stuff versions Cannonball, destroying those houses, mountains.
I mean, yeah, you can scale that stuff. Should scale those things. That's what I'm saying. But well, I'm not being objective here since I really can't stand power scaling. So maybe I'm not the one to talk about that topic.
I used to be big into power scaling, but I went off it because of like when you start getting into characters who a bit like speed when they clearly can't, when you start getting into really dumb ways to measure out powers other than what characters demonstrated in the show, then it just gets a bit silly and a bit much. It more just feels like people are trying to make their favourite character look bigger and better for whatever reason they have.
Because they like him they like them in an unreasonable amount, and an illogical amount, or perhaps I should say an impractical amount, a concerning amount.
All those work.
When it happens,
it's
just
chasing your tail.
Yeah, pretty much. So sometimes you just gotta go along with it, or just like disengage completely. So like for a while, I'll entertain the Zoro Sanji thing, and after a while, I'm like, I'm cool.
I never entertain it, bro.
The one thing that like that has annoyed me about the Zoro Sanji thing is that people are saying that like what happened to Zoro in that last chapter was like even equivalent to like anything that happened to Sanji and Whole Cake Island. Like they were saying like if that happened to Sanji and Whole Cake Island, everyone would have said L, and like I feel like people are like stretching that so hard when they say that.
I don't know, but the Sanji's become a meme in a way, in which people take pride in actually
became a meme.
Hey there, no need to adjust your TV, or more likely your phone. You're watching a recycled commercial. See, at Mint Mobile, we're always looking for innovative ways to
doing that. Whereas like people were legitimately giving Sanji an L for not being able to light a cigarette.
Yeah, but like if someone's in a fight and like
Yo, what I hate
when he couldn't light a cigarette in the rain after Pudding was talking shit about him. Like
the
chat was spamming L. Like I was like, why?
Wait, would they give him the help for not lighting a cigarette, or give him the help for the situation that he's in?
That's nice.
I think it's both.
What I find to be amusing is that it seems like Sanji fans are always reactionary. It's never them actually creating a scenario for Zoro. It seems as if anything happened to Sanji, they just react up what the community saying.
I mean, think about it. It's like your favorite character is constantly getting shit on. It's like so every opportunity you have, you're gonna strike back.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not my fault. You picked the wrong character. Like,
yeah, so it's like that just makes everybody
because they're both equally cancer, which is I'm really looking forward to.
Not the most lovable either. So
no, because they're both equally cancer, which is I'm really looking forward to Wano because I want to see the worst out of Zoro turrets. Oh,
yeah. I mean, bro, like you saw, like my title was what would sound
like. Last time I checked, it was like 80 plus dislikes, and every comment was like,
dislikes.
Zoro actually won.
Zoro won.
Like 7. The reaction was ridiculous. It was hilarious. Zoro actually won.
Zoro won. I can't believe some.
this is like I don't know. I feel like I know a lot of intelligent Zoro fans, but like I know 0 intelligent Sanji fans. It's like King of Lightning is.
I just love how Cole could just have like one small sliver of hope, and he holds on. And it's. I'm with you.
Reverie when he said Sanji had micro characterization or something like that. A bit.
It's funny.
And that's another thing.
We don't get what they're trying to do.
I guess they're a bus. They're just talking about Zoro versus Sanji fans. Sort of.
I mean, yeah, but they're also beating. The thing is, if they talk about the toxicity between those two fan bases, which you can talk about, then don't be toxic yourself in the video, which they're being. It's really counterproductive.
All I can say is, this is a really pointless debate that has gone on forever, and as I am a fandom with multiple other things, this will continue to go on forever. well beyond One Piece.
Of course
20
it will.
years after One Piece ends, in like maybe a decade from now, people are still going to be talking over who's stronger versus Zoro or Sanji.
Yeah, but they absolutely will. That's one of the most toxic things about the One Piece fanbase and anime fan bases in general, and that will never stop.
Like,
But what
people were saying
this
that
is
like
just waifu wars, but with shonen.
for like that whole
that's actually a really
thing,
good
like,
analogy. But what I'm
and like when Zoro got hit
criticizing
by
the
the
most
nail,
here
you
is
give
that
him an L,
when they
he
talk
was
about
protecting
this
chapter,
debate,
but like those were like two
then they
completely
can't
different
be toxic themselves against those fan bases. That I think that's really hypocritical.
They just care too much. There's irrational.
Run away.
They care too much about what I feel is arguably less. I mean, it's not an issue for you to care about how strong a character is, but like, I like a character for their character as opposed to what their character can do. I mean, unless what a character can do defines the character, but Sanji is strong, but Sanji being strong is important, but that's not what ultimately defines him as Sanji.
Yeah, I suppose so. But even still, if it is a definition to Sanji, I'll still say they care too much. If if they get labeled as toxic and the likes.
Yeah,
but he specified that he's the only one who can do it.
Can any of the others skywalk?
No, what I'm trying to say, Brago, he made it seem as if it was something special.
But maybe it's like he's like, yo, the others can't skywalk, so I'm special. I'm gonna just skywalk out of there. Nobody can catch me. And then Oda,
the chapter with Sanji getting Luffy.
he can skywalk too, my nigga. That's nothing special. It's just like I don't know.
This ties into my problem, Brago. I think with all the trolling, people are actually trying to not hear the valid critique on Sanji's character, because there are valid critiques there.
There's some valid critiques, but it's a lot of noise.
No, there are many valid critiques, bro. Many. There are many where you can actually say it's either his fault as a character or Oda just dropped the ball in terms of writing the story.
I mean, it sometimes it can be annoying when sometimes people nitpick.
Yes.
Something story, because if you,
I'm pretty sure it was referring to Sanji getting moonwalked on when he, tried to save Luffy. If that's what the chapter they're referring to, then if that's the chapter they're referring to, then I have nothing to say to this Zoro versus Sanji thing. We've seen other people do skywalk. It isn't that special.
No, it's not. But what I'm saying is that he said there are many valid critiques about how Sanji is written, and he doesn't name anything. If there are so many things wrong with how Sanji is written, then he should be able to name something in a debate like this, but he doesn't.
People are allergic to giving examples and things. No one is willing to actually talk about the things they do. They'll just say a point and move on, which is thankfully not what we do here.
The way Sanji fans argue doesn't help as well. If you want to argue by saying Sanji isn't trash, you got to at least accept that there are certain moments where he is trash. You can't keep defending everything.
Well, I feel like it does injustice to just say that. That's literally every fan ever.
Yeah.
Like, you should have
You're
seen...
fanatic.
No, don't do that. There's some people who just don't care about this topic.
Blanket statements are awesome. Okay, I'm not going to do the obvious and say, not every blanket statement is terrible, but blanket statements like that are terrible. You can't just generalize all those people like that. As Leo said, not everyone cares about this one topic.
And not every person is illogical. Has an illogical has a. I'll just use illogical and illogical attachment to the character, like these Zoro fans and Sanji fans that you prescribe as toxic.
Luffy fans during the Luffy and Katakuri fight.
Oh,
that
man.
was a prime example.
Whew, that was a bad time. That was a bad time.
Don't remember.
The Luffy fans at that time was crazy, Lando.
Well, I wasn't on Reddit and all those forums. I don't really know what people say.
Bro, the Luffy fans at that time was just, bro. Like,
I think that was like the portion of like where I almost like lost my love for One Piece arguing with those people.
It was.
What were some of the arguments?
Wait, but it's like because everybody started bringing up what Froob would say,
and they don't answer them. Interesting.
Yeah,
this is KFC's Beyond Fried Chicken. It tastes like fried chicken, but it's made of plants.
Right?
I remember that one.
And it came down to like if you wanted Luffy to lose, you don't like Luffy, and it's like, yeah, you're missing it. You're missing it.
It's the hater, dude. You fucking hate Luffy.
I remember.
Let me ask you guys this.
No.
Can we say objectively, like, just be honest here, that Katakuri actually won that fight?
I think.
No, let's be real here.
What do you mean?
In terms of if you analyze what happened from the beginning to the entire end, can you really say Luffy was more dominant, more impressive, more spirit?
Luffy won the fight, like technically, because I mean he walked out and like Katakuri was knocked out, but like, would he have won the fight if Oda didn't put in 30 different plot devices? No.
Yeah, I think we all understand.
Oh, is that what they meant?
Come on.
He literally had to train. He literally trained in mid-fights. I'm sure Katakuri would win if Luffy could not withstand his attacks and train his haki. So
I mean, you can.
So
I can't.
Even then, it was still pretty much a tied fight. So yeah.
Also, Katakuri did stab himself.
Yeah, you can go for the argument if Katakuri would be that serious and just didn't relent a bit that he would win that fight. You can make that argument, but that's not who Katakuri is as a person. So you're saying if Katakuri was a different person, he would win? That I don't think that makes sense.
That isn't fair at all. I mean, as long as it, logical and character consistent, then this isn't an argument.
But I don't want to go too deep into this because then I would have to power scale stuff, and I really don't want to do that.
On the same page, where if Katakuri did 20% of what he should be capable of, Luffy would be done.
Yes. Like, do I think Luffy is
he did all that he wanted to do. Not that if he did 20% of his power. He did all that he wanted to do.
Yeah. Saying that he went...
Sorry.
I don't know.
You were saying beyond?
Yeah, I was starting to make arguments about power stuff, and I had to stop myself there because I really don't want to get into that stuff.
Understandable.
But what I want to say is there was a respect formed between them, which then carried on in the fight, how it flowed, and they are just ignoring that and just want Katakuri to demolish him, I suppose, which is stupid.
Yeah, they saw Katakuri not doing his all, or at least doing not enough that they think Katakuri should be doing. They see something that they think is a flaw and questioning why it didn't happen in the story.
Yeah, what they failed to see is the character motivation why Katakuri does certain things in that. But
the problem with Katakuri was
to fully explain that.
Is that it was characterized also of his feats shown and what he could do whenever it's convenient. You cannot tell me that this man will be using a spear from a child. Can't hit Luffy with a spear. One of the others of a spear hit Luffy. Kicking Luffy.
What?
Katakuri was that it was characterized also of his feats shown and what he could do whenever it's convenient. You cannot tell me that this man will be using a spear from a child. Can't hit Luffy with a spear. One of the others of a spear hit Luffy.
It's because Luffy has been shown consistently and incredibly good evasive has incredibly good evasive properties. I guess that's what I was trying to say, but he's very good at dodging. Yeah, also it's a trident.
He's kicking Luffy, but he can't land a spear hit. Like it was too obvious that Oda is conveniently leaving out what Katakuri can do whenever it's convenient.
Yeah,
and
he put in so many different things.
Yeah, it's just so stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
there's actually one point where Katakuri thought he was going to lose.
Yeah.
No. If we're referring to when he broke when his hockey was a little shaken, then all right. Any other instance from that? No. And even then, if something Katakuri, we really, I don't know what to say about that scene, but he would not have been beaten up by Luffy, even with his observation gone. It should technically be an even playing field.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you, I like when I don't know what the antagonist is thinking, right? Because typically it's kind of like a tell, where it's like when you tell me what they're thinking, it's kind of insinuating like something, like what they're thinking it may happen, right?
Well, internal monologues are good.
Sometimes,
yeah, they're good sometimes.
But it's like it got to a point where we knew everything Katakuri was thinking. Where Katakuri was like, "Oh man, he may be approaching me. Oh man, I may lose." It's like
and that was
it kind of took away from the fight. And again, like this fight, it lacked emotion. You did not feel the emotion.
Yes,
it was
just they literally fought each other on even grounds. Katakuri injured himself in respect of the fight. Luffy put his hat, the hat covering his straw hat when he took up and covered over Katakuri's mouth. They grew some sort of bond in the middle of the fights. These guys
saying that like emotion is just bombery. They just didn't read that. They just say, "Ooh, they don't annihilate each other. Bad fight. There's no emotion."
They don't go Sasuke, Naruto, something like that. That's what they wanted.
It was just. It just felt like, okay, this is something that has to happen for Luffy's development, so let's get it in there, right? And it was the fight.
And they can't say that because Katakuri isn't a. Well, technically, I can't say that either since Katakuri isn't shown again. Well, as far as I know, so.
It wasn't a really good fight.
From my perspective as well, that's when I had this as well.
I disagree with that though.
You think it was a really good fight?
Yeah, I think it was.
It seems as if as the fight progressed in a sense.
It's Kaiser, but yeah, what's up?
Just
what y'all watching?
Just checking this video from Brago D. Ace. I was hoping it was. Well, I was hoping these guys in the video would say something about the actual power scaling of Zoro and Sanji, or actually debating on Zoro and Sanji, but they're just talking about it on and off the fans that discuss
what?
About. Yeah.
How the fuck do you mean that's the topic of the video? What?
Yeah, they're not talking about the topic of the video. Well, you could take the title two ways. You could either they talk about the topic itself, or the fans talk how the fans interact with the topic. But
if they're talking about because there's the title of the video says as Sanji versus Zoro toxicity, right? Has it been substantive so far?
No, not really.
I specifically meant it didn't go the way I wanted to go, the video.
I mean, okay, well, to be fair, it says the toxicity. If you want to see a debate about like, oh, the actual power scaling or whatever, then like, well, there are easier ways of doing that. But if that's the case, then yeah, fine. But how was it so far?
Really, but they didn't even talk about the fan base that much. They briefly said, "Oh yeah, those fans are toxic," while insulting the fans themselves, so they're being toxic themselves, which I find quite stupid from them.
Okay.
And now they're talking about Katakuri versus Luffy.
Oh wow, all right. Because like my thing about like talking about fandoms, right, is that usually it's fucking useless to talk about it. Like unless you're talking about specifically things that you know for a fact a lot of people are talking about, like a specific topic, like something that got them mad, or something that like that a perception of like the story or something like that.
An
right?
actual community outrage.
Yeah, stuff like that too. But most of the time, I think it's probably a little bit pointless to talk about the fandoms unless you're trying to address them, saying like, "Hey, if you do this shit, you're fucking dumb. Stop it." And that should pretty much be the end of it, right? But yeah. I mean, if this is their way of kind of addressing it, then like I guess, but like I don't know why it's like 18 minutes long to do that, but whatever.
It's 18 minutes because they just drive the word off the topic and don't really talk about it. They just talk about a whole lot of other things.
Do you think Katakuri versus Luffy had no emotional weight?
I mean, I never really seen the fight. I don't really watch the series all that much, but like from what I heard, it's pretty decent, you know. You feel differently? Don't worry, Wolf. Don't worry, I'm not gonna crucify you. You know, I'm not a fanboy in disguise. You know, I'm putting my gun away. Don't worry. Go ahead and admit.
All right, they just brought up the topic and they were blasting nonsense.
As the fight progressed in a sense, Oda started realizing that Katakuri wasn't villainous enough. There are times where Katakuri immediately made a 180 and just start evil monologuing, like, I don't lay on my back, never. Like,
it's not evil.
Wait, what? How the fuck is that evil? That just means that he's tough as shit. That's the point of that. What the fuck? Why the fuck have I not seen the show? I mean, I've not seen this arc, and even I know that it's not even what? God damn it!
That's the character that you developed.
Monologuing now.
That was.
I used to see them watching.
Yeah, cutscene. I didn't want that one.
No, in terms of the context, you were saying it. I looked down upon the ground. I'm so powerful. Like that's the character that you developed.
Monologuing now.
That was no, in terms of the context, you were saying it. I looked down upon the ground. I'm so powerful. Like no, that's not the character that you developed.
Kind of like okay, I'll be honest. I don't know what the hell he said. His accent plus the impression.
I know. Like I barely made it out either. Like the motherfucker. Oh my god. But like I can kind of make out what he's saying. He's saying that like, oh, he's basically making it out like, oh, you're not even supposed to say that, and I'm just so like, why though? Why? That doesn't make sense, right? Because like, I don't fucking need to explain that shit. If a character is acting to, also if he has a problem with Katakuri, like, you know, saying this really, you know, this really hyperbolic but like cool bass thing, then like you must really hate most shonen, dude. Like don't ever show this motherfucker Fist of the North Star, man. He will have a heart attack. Like holy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Also, someone else said it was monologue or something about monologuing.
I think he said, "Oh, we're against monologuing now." I think that's what he said.
In the tone of that was just like superiority. That wasn't like evil.
You get what I mean, though, Drizzt?
Yeah, I mean, I actually
saying it wrong.
I actually completely disagree.
I don't know what they mean, and I'm pretty sure they're saying it wrong.
Oh my god!
I don't even understand what it.
I can't even make a good version of his argument without literally making a different, better argument for him. Like I would be doing his job.
Now I have an idea what they're trying to say, but please don't actually be saying
wrong,
it.
but...
Yeah.
Say it right, Drizzt.
What can I say?
Yeah, let me hear your Katakuri voice, Drizzt.
What can I say?
Let me hear
What can I fucking say?
your Katakuri voice.
No.
God, Froob, God.
No, I was going to say, a lot of people think Katakuri's character was inconsistent throughout Whole Cake Island, and I completely disagree with that. Like, I advise anyone who thinks that to, like, reread that arc and, like, look at how his, like...
Yeah, I agree with you. It wasn't inconsistent, it was just bad.
I mean...
Okay. Yeah,
But I also, like, they say that a lot of people are saying that his character was inconsistent. Now, I'm not part of the One Piece space. You know, I'm not PCing. That's what they're called, right? So I don't know, you know, what's the goings on there. But as far as I'm aware, everybody's been kind of just slurping on that Kata Dicky, right?
I really like Katakuri.
He's pretty solid. Yeah. I have no strong feelings about him, but I did like, you know, him respecting Luffy.
Yeah.
His characterization was good, but I have no strong feelings for him.
It's different from like a lot. I would say that's probably what stands out about him. That's what makes him different from like most.
Him caring about his family and stuff. I really like that.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I don't know what his deal is right here. I don't get it.
Well, I'm pretty sure he won't say why he thinks he's bad, but no, he isn't.
Yes, maybe we'll find out in his Downfall of One Piece Part 3.
Well, whenever the hell Part 2 comes out.
I don't know. But...
Yeah, it was consistent with the later reveals, but it was just bad overall.
I made a video saying he's actually a good multi-dimensional.
He's a good dude.
Well, not a good dude like Bernal, but he's a multi-dimensional character that was done not right, but his original creation, you could see what Oda was intending to do, but the execution was just
Yeah, I mean the Luffy versus Katakuri thing.
And we made a video about that. Yo, we should watch that shit.
We should actually do that instead of this compilation.
Yeah, what's this dude's name?
That's his Twitter. Unless he has a YouTube channel or posted it somewhere. Okay, I don't think so.
What was his intention? Yeah, good question. He said he made a video about that. I want to get on his ass for that.
Okay, this guy.
Oh shit. Responsibility of a conqueror. All right.
Seeing things through Katakuri's eyes. Oh, he has not posted anything.
Damn. I mean, maybe that's the video then.
Maybe. It has to be.
Come in! Okay, let me just say, with what little I know about the scaling of Hunter x Hunter versus One Piece, Killua would not survive that shit.
What do you mean?
I'm saying, like, Killua would not even be able to dodge that shit as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, alright. God,
it's just a mild joke. But, yeah.
I didn't have a lot of videos.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's the Katakuri one he's talking about.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just see a little bit more of this video and go off.
Yeah, we can go over that in a second.
Be talked about for a long time just because.
Well, you know it because look, we're still
talking about it.
Luffy and Doffy, dude.
Yeah,
it's gonna be going on until it's like Luffy versus Blackbeard. It's like, remember fucking Luffy versus Katakuri, dude?
I would like to talk to somebody who literally just caught up after Whole Cake, right? Where like they read all the way through Whole Cake and just see how they feel about it, because a lot of times being in this community, it can take away, and again, week to week can take away.
I could probably give you a guess at what they're probably going to feel.
What do you think?
People who casually go through the series don't pay attention to detail.
So they
that's pretty typical.
Well, I can't say that, considering every detail listed is easily and can be accessible very quickly. So I could say people who read it get more information, since they get it faster and it gets into their brain a little easier. More information gets in their brain easier.
I mean, yeah, I guess like on a broad sense, that in regards to like how normal people engage with media and stuff like that, then yeah, I kind of agree and shit like that. But that would still imply that the arc and Katakuri's like characterization is bad, and well, we're still discussing. We're on the fence on that, right? But still, like, I don't know. That's not really anything new. But yeah, I guess I don't really super agree there. Again, it would be different if I was engaged in the community, but that's just a general thing.
Typical. So they're not going to notice flaws when there are flaws. There's like, I'm just skimming through it. Oh, that's cool.
They ain't skimming through it. It's just the entire story ready for them to experience. What the hell?
Yeah, also, go ahead, Peon.
I also find it quite funny how Drizzt is complaining about people not understanding the details when he just complains about benign stuff in his own videos.
and then him himself actually saying he skims through, or well, I'm pretty sure he does, but I forget. Oh, did King leave?
Yeah, and also fucking what was it? I was, god damn it, what did he say again? He said that they're skimming through it. Like, no, a lot of the time there are even people that literally read this shit word for word and they miss a lot of detail. Most people are like that. They don't skim through shit. They read it, they consume it as they do. They even reread it because they love it so much, and they still miss certain details. That's just how it is. But I don't want to be too pedantic about it. I get what he means. And it's not like I entirely disagree in regards to that in a broad sense, but like, yeah, it's whatever.
The totality is just wrong.
Yeah, maybe I'm just being again extremely seeing it more negatively because it's Drizzt saying that, and kind of I don't know how it is. I'm kind of influenced because of previous instances of Drizzt saying stuff. So maybe I'm just seeing it more negative than it actually is what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm gonna throw, I guess, the olive branch at him. I'm gonna be charitable here.
That is true. That is true though, because a lot of times when you're trying to catch up, you're reading the chapter one time, and you're getting what you want from it, and it's like, okay, cool. So if you're reading it week to week and you're gonna make a video on it, you're reading the chapter several times. So
yeah, like there's a difference between being involved in the community and just being someone who's casually doing it for fun. Like, it's like, to give a weird example, if you were like seriously reading like an ecchi manga or something, like, man, this plot doesn't make sense. Like, seriously,
yeah.
Like, it's like you're honestly you're just reading it just for like to see a few things that interest you, and then like move on. It's usually the same with casual readers as well.
No, that's a horrible example. And
yeah, wait a minute. Wait,
didn't even make any sense.
Yeah, wait a minute. That comparison is, I mean, like, okay, I kind of get it, but it's also stupid. So the problem, the whole thing with ecchi manga and anime is that with most of them, as far as I'm aware, is made to just be dumb, fun, horny nonsense, right? Like that's the medium itself, not having a low, I guess, a low
reputation.
Low expectation to begin with, right? That has nothing to do, almost nothing to do with the people watching it, other than just like, hey, that's their audience, right? With One Piece, you're literally saying that people are skimming through the chapters that in BL and skimming in air quotes here, but you get what I mean. Reading the chapters and not really, absorbing what the story is giving to them. That is all on the consumer. That doesn't track at all. Now, I understand why he uses that as an example, because I guess he's trying to point out that, hey, this is that mindset in reverse with the ecchi example.
No,
I wish
he's trying to say people who quote unquote skim are seeing the forest instead of the trees, or looking.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm. No. That's perfectly fine. What I'm saying is that I think he's saying with the ecchi example is that the same way that he's basically implying that casual viewers of the anime and the manga view it the same way as see One Piece or see things similar to One Piece, similar in a way as like watching an ecchi show, or the way that ecchi is created to cater to their audiences and don't really expect too much else from them.
Yes, exactly. What I think he was saying is that people just skim it and don't really take into it, and so the flaws there are obvious flaws, and they just don't really pick up on that. And so he brings up ecchi, which has great obvious flaws, and which obviously, because if they read it just for fun, they wouldn't care about that, and he relates that back to One Piece.
Correct. I'd say that pretty much tracks there. Now, whether we again agree or disagree of what he believes the flaws actually are, is that's an entirely different thing. But I don't think I wholly disagree with what he's broadly saying. It's just that the example is kind of dumb, because again, with ecchi, that's like the work itself being like low brain content, and not like the consumer being low brain. That's the point. Sorry if I'm talking too much.
If I may.
Sometimes, the nature of the universe can place you under certain circumstances for you to become a hero. Sometimes, the universe places you under certain circumstances that forces you to become a villain. Other times, the universe puts you in a circumstantial scenario where you're a part of an abusive matriarchal ruling, where your mom rules with an iron fist, but the benefit of her rulership doesn't trickle down to her kids as much as the responsibilities to uphold her matriarchal society does. All of those circumstances are out of our control, but ultimately, the choice is ours to determine who we want to become, given our choices. Katakuri is a character who you would think wouldn't accept any of those circumstantial situations as its own destiny. That type of submission.
What is he going on about? He's bringing up a movie script and playing it as a
I mean, I know what he's saying, but god damn it, is it long-winded. Holy shit.
Destiny.
Why do you want me to say what he's trying to say?
I know what he said. I just don't know why he said it in comparison to Luffy and Katakuri. Well, Katakuri specifically, so on. He's just a dude with pretty good observation hockey.
I mean, I kind of like, okay, to an extent, I kind of understand what he's trying to say here, and from what little I understand about Katakuri's character, I can see how that kind of tracks because, like, so correct me if I'm wrong on this. So Katakuri and the other kids of Big Mom's deal is that Big Mom just like gets with all these different people around the world in order to consolidate power, and she basically uses her children as like tools, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay, so I can kind of understand why he's trying to make that connection with Destiny and all that shit, right? Because again, from what I've heard, Katakuri's whole deal in the grand scheme of like Big Mom and everything is that he is a tool. He serves as like her sword, right? You know, basically that exemplifies like the power and influence that she has in her army, right? He's like your best warrior or something.
Yeah, he is her second in command.
Yeah, basically. So, and that's what he is basically fated to do from her standpoint, right? And like in that perception is that no matter what he does, that's always going to be the case. No matter his desires, it's just what's going to be. That's how it's going to happen. So I'm guessing that's a connection that he's making, which, okay, fine, but god damn it. I know English isn't his first language, but fuck, man.
Oh, you can't say that, bruh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's racial profiling, bruh.
You know what? I should be ashamed. I should be thrown out on the fucking street. Like the fucking Deku I am.
Submissive behavior just doesn't fit his no-nonsense approach that was portrayed along with his non-agreeable personality. Submissive situations as its own destiny. Those circumstantial situations as its own destiny. That type of submissive behavior just doesn't fit his no-nonsense approach that was portrayed along with his non-agreeable personality.
Is he saying that it makes no sense for him to serve Big Mom?
No, I think he's saying. Well, I hope that's not what he was saying. I hope not.
Bruh. Meme Spice, come on. Wow, alright then. I'll bring up the closed captions.
Yeah, no, I thought, so you were going to say, Leo? Sorry if I interrupted you.
You meant Peon, but I did actually have something to say. He did have... Not that he did. He kind of got Katakuri's characteristic wrong. He's not a no-nonsense type. He's just more of the stoic loner.
Yeah, but even if that isn't the case, I think he isn't saying this as like a... I hope he's not saying this as like a a narrative flaw, like a contradiction. I hope what he's doing here is that I'm guessing he's trying to make it seem like what was it? Like a thematic contradiction, like, oh, this makes this character even more multifaceted, because despite the fact that, you know, he has this sort of tough, you know, exterior, he's a man who has the power to potentially do what he desires to, like what he thinks he does it, it's done, right? He submits himself to being, again, fated to being under Big Mom's thrall, which,
I mean, that's kind of true, but not with Big Mom's rule. He kind of acts tough for his family in order to protect them, but actually he just wants to chill out sometimes, and he actually goes into almost no one of his family knows except one of his sisters, and she has the power to open a pocket dimension, and he always sleeps and relaxes in there, so no one of his family sees him.
Right. All right. Okay,
we want to become given our choices. Katakuri is a character who you would think wouldn't accept any of those circumstantial situations as its own destiny. That type of submissive behavior just doesn't fit his no-nonsense approach that was portrayed along with his non-agreeable personality.
And non-agreeable personality? When has he been unagreeable?
I would presume if he was, that'd make him a pretty shitty commander, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
Which was amplified by him being a King's Haki user.
Why would it? No, I'm not bringing that up. That's just nonsense. Plain and simple.
I like if he was saying that like, oh, because is again, don't rerun One Piece, but this is shit that I heard. Like only very like strong-willed people are able to have a conqueror's haki, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm guessing he's trying to make the connection that like, yo, despite the fact that Katakuri has such a strong will, again, he's submitting himself to these circumstances.
Yeah, that makes no sense because there are other characters that are serving under people that still have Conqueror's Haki, like Rayleigh.
I see.
Being a King's Haki.
I don't think he's saying that like there ain't some wholly unique, but I guess he would say that that makes him interesting. I guess something like that.
I really hope he means this in a positive way, because if he means this in a negative way, then
holy
he just
shit, we're in trouble.
I don't even agree what he means by this, cause
yeah,
I
think what he's trying to say is that he is so stoic, so why would he submit to being under Big Mom's rule?
And he's saying his Conqueror's Haki would amplify that decision.
Oh.
Which makes no sense.
That makes no sense, no.
Non-agreeable personality, which was amplified by him being a King's Haki.
I mean, then also, he's also getting his personality wrong, so this even hinders his points significantly more.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it's kneecapped from the start, but like even with his framework being correct, it just doesn't seem correct.
User. All users of the King's Haki should all as a collective champion the idea of freedom as a core value.
Alright, I think I gotta see that Haki and then video I posted in the B-list chat. He's getting Haki wrong. At least this Haki.
Yeah. I like, I don't know.
King's Haki is not about freedom.
Yeah, isn't it just about like just having a strong will in general?
Well, no, it's
Pretty
mostly
much.
about wanting to achieve. Often it's like either having a strong will or wanting to achieve great things.
Okay, well, you can potentially still achieve great things while also working for somebody else. Like, what is the great? Wait, yes. Fucking Zoro! What the fuck?
Technically, as far as I've read, he does not have conquerors. Technically, there's been instances where he technically showed it, but straight up said he didn't. Unless you know that he actually does have conquerors, in which
he actually does have it.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Okay, so wait, he doesn't, or he does?
He does have it.
Okay, so like I thought,
to mention it because I don't know if somebody has read it here that much. I wanted to be like cautious about it because I know some people aren't that far.
There was one instance where he did show it off, but it wasn't specifically said it was conquerors, so that just clears it up completely.
Yeah, it was confirmed 3 times differently because people had misconceptions about it. It was confirmed 2 times more after that. Confusing a reveal. So he definitely has it.
Right. So what I'm saying is that this furthers my point that if all it takes is the desire to want to achieve great things, then what if the great thing that you want to achieve has to do with letting the person that you're taking orders from that you personally believe is like a good person there and their goals should be brought to fruition. That's you see that as great, and that's why you're doing what you're doing.
Yes, his aspirations to protect his family could culminate into his conqueror's haki.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
For
subservient people can still want to achieve great things for the people that they are subservient to.
Yeah,
That's possible.
Just because they're serving someone else, it doesn't hinder their own ambitions necessarily.
Or they can't be ambitious at all about the other person's ambitions.
He just gets that shit completely wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I guess this is a potential A-list exists video the lads can view, considering how.
Oh shit.
Well, now that I think about it, well, I kind of don't want to, but should we look at the Hockey Nen video I posted in the B-list chat before we?
You can if you want.
Get a reference on why he's saying the Conquer Hockey's thing.
That might be good, actually.
Alright, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I just got DM that there's a video of somebody who like actually power scaling Sailor Moon, so that's interesting.
Sailor Moon characters are very strong for some reason.
Yeah, apparently. I know that like I know that there were any videos that are actually scaling them. But I guess this is the one. But so you know.
Especially outside of the anime's content. Not outside, but outside of the anime's portrayal of the character. Well, let's just go with that. Outside of the anime's portrayal of the characters, really goes into some huge. Okay, I say that, but I haven't watched the anime. I'm continuing the video.
As a core value, regardless of each of their own personal interpretation of that concept. Katakuri, as a collective, champion the idea of freedom as a core value, regardless of each of their own personal interpretation of that concept. Katakuri has been regularly accused to not be deserving of the king's haki due to him staying under his mom's rulership instead of choosing to explore on his own like most of the other king's haki users.
So he is saying it. So he is explaining why it does make sense that he has it, but then if he's wanting to argue that it does make sense even though he is under rulership, that whole first sentence about that really made him look wrong. Damn, did he explain that badly?
Yeah, Kaiser's gonna come back. He said BRB in the B-list chat. Yeah, I agree, Peon. He's bringing up mixed signals. We should really look at that Hockey Nen video, but I kind of don't want to.
No, that's not so bad. But it might be fun, but it also sounds like it would hurt.
Especially since I haven't seen Hunter x Hunter. Actually, not seeing Hunter x Hunter is both a good and bad thing, but it's one on so.
On its own, choosing to explore on its own like most of the other King's Haki users. This might be a minority opinion, but I believe that Katakuri is one of the most deserving users of the King's Haki. He is the quintessential manifestation of
no one has that opinion, sorry to say.
What a character who truly values freedom is like. Because
King's Haki is not about freedom,
technically, if you want to be specific, protecting his family can lead to them being more free, them being less restrictive on other people's wills. But
yes,
that's
that's
kind of a stretch.
But King's Haki again is not about being free or wanting to be free.
Freedom without responsibility is just pure selfishness. Katakuri.
What? Freedom without responsibility. Freedom without responsibility is pure selfish.
I guess he's trying to say, if you're saying, yeah, I want to be free, I'm not doing what I need to do, that would be selfish. Like, if like someone needs us help and he just says, no, I don't want to do this, I want to be free, I don't want to help you, that would be selfish. I guess that's what you're saying.
But they're pirates.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it would still be selfish, but I don't see how that would be a bad thing in some situations. And again, I think Katakuri, as someone who does a lot for his family, is out that he can take off sometimes. This moments of selfishness is something he should be able to do, as most often he is taking the non-selfish route and standing up for his family. Sorry, I'm wording that a bit complicated.
This point is kind of bad.
Because freedom without responsibility is just pure selfishness. Katakuri chose a position that was honorable and sacrificial. He put away his true interests to take up the interests of others, and he held his true personality captive so he could assume a tiresome job of being a perfect big brother and act as a symbol of strength for his siblings who are much weaker than him.
Yeah, so he does somehow get it.
Yeah, it's a point. Good point. Don't Big Mom have Conqueror's Haki, so Luffy is selfish? Yes, Luffy is selfish, and yes, Big Mom has Conqueror's Haki. So that kind of
again, this is a really interesting video because in the beginning it sounds he just says some nonsense that makes no sense, and then he somehow gets it anyway. I'm really confused by this video. I'm getting really mixed signals.
Since Sengoku has Conqueror's Haki and him being Fleet Admiral, he has a strict position, but is also in a position to make, justice for all, free people from tyrannies of pirates and such. With Big Mom, she does have Conqueror's Haki, and her dream of uniting the worlds as one mother, hence Big Mom, which is pretty selfless. So, me trying to excuse and aid his points does somehow have ground, which is an interesting thing.
Okay, so what I miss? Sorry.
He apparently does get Katakuri's character. He just says some really stupid nonsense before, but then he explains it perfectly.
All right, cool.
I'm really confused by that, how he just screwed up his point so badly. Maybe you can scroll it back a bit.
Oh.
No, you don't need to. I can kind of infer some things from here. So, all right, that's impressive.
Also, this guy does talk pretty slow.
Yeah, but it's whatever.
Who are much weaker than him. You can choose to be the creator of your own destiny, seeking solutions, taking actions, and trying something new when prompted with any stimulus from your environment. Or you can choose to be the victim of your world, blaming, complaining, and finding excuses for your choices when prompted with a stimulus from your environment.
Okay, now he's bringing up what? He's been combating people that's trying to take over, harm, and kidnap the people of Whole Cake, which comprise of his family. So he's just.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is he trying to say?
Yeah, I don't know. That was word fucking salad.
He's trying to bring up the destiny thing, which isn't really applicable to Katakuri since he's more or less content with his role as defender.
Yeah. I mean, I think he what he's saying is either you choose your own destiny or you're forced into it, and he just mumbles it up and doesn't really explain what he means by that and how that relates. It's really hard to understand what he means.
It's really weird.
He wants to be this, but
yeah, he chose it for himself.
And then he's saying this is his destiny, which is technically true, but he also wants this, so he's accepting his whatever.
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't necessarily call it a contradiction. You know, accepting your circumstances.
No, I'm not saying this is a contradiction. I'm just saying he's making this too confusing.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Seeking solutions, taking actions, and trying something new when prompted with any stimulus from your environment. Or you can choose to be the victim of your world, blaming, complaining, and finding excuses for your choices when prompted with a stimulus from your environment.
I'm pretty sure he's referring to his past where he accidentally got Brule injured, but he's just kind of bringing up a different topic at that moment.
Well, I think what the issue is that he is making saying how you could react and how it is without really explaining what that means. I think he's just talking broadly about it, and then I think we just need to look what he says after that to see what the context of that would be.
Yeah, that would also help a lot.
And finding excuses for your choices when prompted with a stimulus from your environment. The former helps you achieve your goals and accept responsibility, while the latter helps you to achieve neither. If you guys have been following me on my short YouTube journey, then you should be aware of how heavily I champion the notion that a character's emotional state is a valuable area of accessibility if you want to fully understand their character and how they help or ruin the narrative. Let me put Katakuri's character under the microscope by analyzing its emotional states that ultimately brought life to his unique powers and abilities. Katakuri.
Alright, so wait, why am I trying to... Well, never mind.
Doesn't value the need for power like most abilities. Katakuri doesn't value the need for power like most individuals do on a selfish basis. His need for power isn't as a result of some personal vendetta, but it derives from his desperate need to protect those that are precious to him. Katakuri's mindset is similar to that of Zoro, where Zoro's barbaric nature is as a result of his desire to protect what's dear to him. Whether
sorta,
could also relate it back to Luffy.
But doesn't Zoro have his own goals too? It's just kind of aligns with Luffy's.
Yes. What he's saying is that Zoro is strong and his drive is not because he wants to have a vendetta, but because he has a driving force. But that's not really comparable to Katakuri wanting to protect what. I mean, I think what he means with what Zoro holds dear to him is his dream of being strong and his childhood friend, I suppose. But that's not the best comparison.
Yeah, even though Zoro wanted to be the world's best swordsman before Kuina. So
and he still wants to,
Yeah, but I think what Zoro holds dear to himself as a comparison is not as good as because Luffy as well holds his friends dear to him and wants to protect them. I think that would be a better comparison.
I mean, that's the guy he fights, right? You'd think that'd be a great comparison.
They're similar on that topic, so that would be maybe the better comparison.
So, yet again, he brought up a good and true point with a character, and then he just fumbles the bag. This is an interesting video.
That's a person or something intangible like a desire to protect what's dear to him.
Also, I don't think him being... Actually, yeah, definitely him being such a meathead is a little bit responsible with his dream and the Queen of Death thing. But he also had that before the Queen thing with him facing Queen those 2,000 times. So it's just a little detail I wanted to spring up. Which could be the reason why he's so stubborn is because of the actual dream or whatever the hell else happened in his past and so on.
That's a person or something intangible like a dream or a promise. Katakuri is multidimensional in his traits, but unlike someone like Sanji, where his multitude of traits creates a knotty web of inconsistencies in portrayal, Katakuri's multiple traits all help to further his goal as a protector and a defender. His style of...
Not really. Because him being a laid-back donut eater isn't really gonna help nobody. So
yeah, if anything, both of these sides of himself are at odds with each other, which I would assume is the point.
Well, what I assume the point is that even though he is this laid-out donut eater at heart, he still can assume this role of a protector of his family, and that makes him an even stronger person or something. I hope it's what he means.
Yeah.
Even though it took Brule getting injured to install this feeling, which also means that he still has a attraction, a want to protect his family, but it really got out when his family did get hurt because of his doing so.
Dressing is noticeable, different from the comedic theme of attire presented in his environment. He sported a different help to further his goal as a protector and a defender. His style of dressing is noticeable, different from the comedic theme of attire presented in his environment.
I think what he's saying is that he dresses more serious than his family does.
Which is
why the fuck did he
not
say
entirely
it like
the
that?
case.
Jesus Christ.
No, not everyone dresses silly on Whole Cake.
Yeah, okay, I see that, and you explaining it also helps me clarify what he said, but he definitely did say it weird.
Yeah, he does say that weird. Yeah.
Also, I wouldn't say the giant spike shin guard, the poncho with the with the denim jackets that doesn't even cover his, entire torso.
Yeah. There are some silly elements to it.
And the belts, and then the whatever the hell the leg spikes, and then the freaking whatever the thing is on his boots that cowboys use. He's definitely trying to look cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like it's exaggerated in a different way, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Genius character design order.
He sported a vest that has the name Charlotte on it as a brand of his conviction and loyalty. That brand was very symbolic as it indicates that he is loyal to the interests of his family, and when he took off the vest versus Luffy, it symbolizes that he has discarded the hefty responsibility and gained an individualistic mindset to do what he pleases.
No. If anything, it would be more like, yeah, kinda. It would be more like he discards the name to fully combat Luffy the way he wants to. Like he takes his idea of protecting his family to the side to enjoy the fight the way he wants to.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he gets it kind of, but he explains it weirdly.
He got half of it right.
So yeah. He got it at heart, I think, but he's just kind of fumbling the surroundings of the argument.
Oh, I see it as he just took off his vest. Yeah, you could be right. No greater subtext. Talk about weird character designs. Demont has like some weird green suits, and I don't know if that's his actually. The guy with the book Devil Fruit, Demont. He has a strange design with the green suits and the round stomach. Now that I think about it, the people of Whole Cake do dress up pretty weird. But not exactly uniquely weird compared to... consistently weird, I should say. They dress up consistently weird.
All of those actions happen on the base of him accepting responsibility and doing what he wants. It is important that we view Katakuri outside of a combative realm to fully grasp the mindset of the man known as the Rock of the Big Man Pirates. He's an authoritarian badass who seems to be very nomadic. He wasn't constantly around, which add to his complex moral code and lore. His design and subtle demeanor was welcomed with smiles from the community as a collective, and was a major determinant in us accepting Katakuri as the badass outside of his eye bounty. As nerds, the minds outside of a combative realm, to fully grasp the mindset of the man known as the Rock of the Big Man Pirates. He's an authoritarian badass who seems to be very nomadic. He wasn't constantly around, which add to his complex moral code and lore.
Constantly
Can't
around.
he just say it more plainly?
I can't say that him not being like... I'm guessing it's because he kind of got introduced halfway through the story, which I'm pretty sure he had his own duties. So I can't... nomadic? Not really. He just was stationed somewhere else. He just...
Yeah, the better word would be enigmatic, wouldn't it?
Yeah, whatever you said.
Enigmatic.
Because he would definitely have some level. We do know him on some level, being one of the Sweet Three generals. So he just wasn't shown.
Yeah.
We knew he existed.
His design and subtle demeanor was welcomed with smiles from the community as a collective.
That's irrelevant. He's just a cool character.
Also,
it doesn't really matter.
And was amazing.
Sorry, it doesn't really matter.
Also, just repetitive language right there in general. Just saying, he was welcomed with open eyes by the community as a collective. You could just say by the community, and that would be it. But
yeah, that too.
He really tries to sound fancy, and it really gets on my nerves because it just makes the argument harder to follow.
Major determinant in us accepting Katakuri as the badass outside of his eye bounty.
I would not say someone like... Okay, I was gonna bring up Foxy, but I wouldn't call him a badass. I'm just saying design doesn't really inherit bad attitude, especially in One Piece.
I guess you could say bass in a different way, but yeah.
I'm just saying outside of design, there would be more aspects to proclaim badassities. It's just his design kind of just elevates, helps or elevates, helps and or elevates.
With or without the introduction of his insane arsenal of combatic abilities later on in the story, just Katakuri's first impression encapsulated the fans' attention, and he was dubbed as the most interesting character within the arc. When blame and guilt comes up, many of us recognize that there are ways of evading the difficulties involving tackling their and guilt in character.
Alright, yeah, that is Red Hawk because of the background
within the arc.
on fire.
When blame and guilt comes up, many of us recognize
in the strike the flame doesn't look too good
is that there are ways
alright, that's just a thing I noticed
of evading the difficulties involving tackling an issue.
And I lost what he
when
said.
Blame and guilt comes up, many of us recognize that there are ways of evading the difficulties involving tackling an issue. If you find yourself looking to blame yourself, consider thinking in terms of acceptance as opposed to judgment. Katakuri did just that, and he took.
What the fuck?
I have no idea what he's trying to say.
I'll just continue on.
Yeah, I wish I didn't just come back from work and I wasn't too tired to think about this shit.
I just don't really get what he's saying, but I'll just continue the video and see if he clarifies.
To judgment. Katakuri did just that, and he took a hold of his perceived flaws and accept the reality that as a result of his flaws and actions, his siblings might be hurt as a direct result. If you find yourself looking to blame yourself, consider thinking in terms of acceptance as opposed to judgment.
If Katakuri accepted that he's a hard ass that just wants to eat food that he likes, the people that he wanted to protect will still theoretically get hurt, and by that judgment, line of thought.
But I think what he's talking about is about his appearance, because he's kind of self-conscious about that.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Katakuri did just that, and he took a hold of his perceived flaws and accept the reality that as a result of his flaws and actions, his siblings might be hurt as a direct result.
And then he says that, which kind of... Never mind.
Yeah, I think that was about his flashback where he did some stuff, then where his relay got beaten up because of him. I think he's talking about that. At least I hope
it has to be. And not really anything else in the story except for his past can really
see it with that, yeah.
He adjusted the way he looked and also the way he looked at things, and began to
accept it. He didn't accept his flaws. He just hid his flaws.
I'll be right back. I'm taking a piss.
Yeah, alright. He changed the way he looks and acts. Well, maybe not looks per se, but definitely just covered his mouth, which is his... Well, yeah. So he didn't really change too much visually. Just enough to not get in trouble. Alright, I'll just say he's correct because I'm complicating things. Because I'm reminding his design in the flashback, and he technically has similar, if not the same design, but the poncho was added to cover his mouth. So
yeah.
I'm confusing things too much.
Understand that the choices he made have consequences that profoundly affected his relationships and his perspective on life. The foundation
He gets that one correct. Let's see what he says next.
Of his motto of perfection was born in his backstory, as well as his genuine love for Brule, who served as a catalyst for Katakuri to understand the lonely philosophy that he must undergo. That love and affection for Brule created his need to always protect her. Katakuri's need to protect Brule seems at first to be because she's always the one to get kidnapped or bullied due to her being weak and vulnerable, hence why Katakuri always have to keep a close eye on her. But that
not specifically her, but I see what you're going. Alright.
Yeah, that's not entirely wrong.
He's okay, he's making a good path. He's doing good.
That was shown to be because of his guilt of having her getting hurt on his behalf. Katakuri is essentially a product of guilt and self-accountability. He rather his family sees him as an authoritarian, fearless big brother who is a nomad and a separatist, instead of them seeing him as an ugly, troublesome monster who brings nothing but problems.
I don't know if he said normal or nomad, but he's still technically correct.
He said nomad.
Well, this
Yeah, but
so.
yeah, his wording is really cluttered. But if you strip down most of the word, it is not entirely wrong what he's saying. Because most of his families are indeed douchebags. How is the youngest sister called? That egg girl?
What's remarkable about Katakuri's character is how indigenous his portrayal is in advancing the narrative compared to the characters who are usually the second strongest to the arc's main antagonist.
That was word vomit, goddamn guy. Just say what you mean. Alright.
Say what you need to say.
Say what you need to say. Yeah.
Say what you
Characters
need to.
are subordinates who are typically your characters who are usually the second strongest to the arc's main antagonist. Characters are subordinates who are typically your second fiddle to the overlords, are usually used as a hype machine for their antagonistic superior. Mangatas regularly use them as a metric for how strong the leader of the group will be the further we advance in the arc. And that's also
he
our...
still is.
He's technically
still is, right?
Technically.
Yeah, they didn't even beat Big Mom in that arc, right?
Right.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I want to see where he's going with this, but like legitimately, this feels like, just like water is wet. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you. I agree. It's just a point, not really helping or detracting from Katakuri, really.
Yeah.
The further we advance in the arc, and that's also always their sole purpose within the story or the arc. Katakuri was different. His combatic abilities didn't serve as a warm-up or introduction to what to expect from Big Mom.
Which technically is wrong, because he's
but
not
he's
the main
also,
villain of the
but he's also kind of right, as in Katakuri wasn't there just to hype up Big Mom. He also served different purposes.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Sorry, I didn't think about this before, but he's saying that like, oh yeah, most mangaka use these second in command types in order to hype up the big bad, right? But and don't really fulfill much of a purpose aside from that. But like, I don't know who was the last second in command big guy that didn't have a character of their own.
Yeah, actually, I could say that and say that he's simplifying Katakuri as a character, putting him as like some guy who's second to the main antagonist.
And he's shitting on a bunch of other characters that fulfill the same purpose and do somewhat the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, what?
Big Mom. His power didn't even mimic hers at all. He is
irrelevant. She is the big cheese. She is the big cheese, and he is the subordinate.
Yeah, what the fuck? Literally, that doesn't matter. Like fucking what's his name? I'm trying to think of an example of a shonen right now. Fucking the Espada in Bleach, freaking Ukiura. His powers have nothing to do with hypnosis or any of that bullshit that Aizen can do, but both on a danger level, right? He is able to use. We use Ukiura and the fact that he is shitting all over Ichigo and driving him so desperately in their fight as a barometer, basically, to see how fucking absolutely apeshit Aizen's power is. Like, that doesn't fucking matter. What the shit? So, everybody in One Piece is like a different devil fruit anyway. So, there would be nobody who have like similar powers anyways, wouldn't that?
Correct.
Well, in very, very rare cases there is, but they're not on the same crew most often. They're just very rare cases where there are similar powers.
Yeah, so like, what the fuck?
And if you go for main antagonist and second command, there is no one that's similar, no combination.
Yeah, so like, what the shit?
It's really bad. Point. I don't know why he brings that even up. What has his powers to do with character?
What to expect from Big Mom. His power didn't even mimic hers at all. He is a confirmed Devil Fruit Awakened user, which Big Mom probably is, but hasn't been confirmed. Also, from our knowledge, Big Mom hasn't reached Katakuri's level of observation haki, and amidst discussion regarding the flame-like pattern and Big Mom's armament haki, it isn't confirmed that her armament is next level compared to Katakuri's. However, this doesn't mean that her armament haki isn't by no means stronger than Katakuri. I expect it to be, just that it hasn't been confirmed to be at the tier level 2 like Katakuri 1 has been. Katakuri's accolades and martial prowess wasn't...
Alright, he didn't bring up Big Mom's conquerors too. Her freaking steel balloon physique and the such.
I mean, I would expect. I mean, it'd probably be very sensible for her haki to be stronger than his, and even without haki, like she is already like naturally strong. I mean, granted, he's her son, so I guess they both be pretty naturally like beefed up.
For some reason, and not well, maybe I do not want to say inherently, considering what I've seen from the other family members, but I know what you mean.
Right. Okay. I didn't know whether that varies or not, but yeah.
Even fruited as a result of protecting his mom from rivals or challengers like the cliche second in command would do. Instead, Katakuri took on a
cliche.
Wait a minute. So like, wait a minute. Didn't he say in the other video that we watched it like Katakuri's character was bad for some reason? He's giving him a lot of props here.
I said something along the lines of him being a Conqueror's Haki user, therefore he wouldn't be subservient to anyone. But then says
no. I mean, in the other video, I think he said that like, oh yeah, I guess this video is talking about all the thematic shit that like he had in mind, that Oda had in mind for his character, but the execution was bad. I'm waiting for the execution here.
Yeah, that's what he said. We'll see. He hasn't really dropped the ball yet, but he did fumble a lot.
Yeah, he's juggling. He's juggling.
A bigger role of mimicking in challengers like the cliche second in command would do. Instead, Katakuri took
also on that cliche part, usually the second in command wouldn't care about their subordinates if they're like the evil type. That's usually the freaking what's the stereotype. That's usually the stereotype.
Yes.
Say second in command would do. Instead, Katakuri took on a bigger role of mimicking perfection, not just in his mental fortitude, but also on the battlefield, as a desire to never let anyone hurt his siblings because of his perceived flaws and weaknesses. He welcomes responsibility, even at the expense of his livelihood. A little side note here, guys, but I also appreciate how Oda used Katakuri as a character to introduce the advanced Haki archetype. Katakuri's observation Haki evolved beyond the regular level, and that's something that us fans have speculated on for a while back on how guys at the top of the power food chain has awakened different Haki manifestations. The fact that Oda emphasized
who else really has something like Katakuri? I guess Fujitora has like some. Well, I don't know about him.
Well, it's advanced armament. If it's really advanced type is debatable, but there are other applications of armament haki like the
Rio.
The attack, what the fans call Rio, the attacks from within. I guess that's similar for armament, but not really, since that is relatively easy to learn as future sight.
Yeah, that's like a technique, not like a advanced version of the same power, is it?
Yeah, because future sight really is unique to Katakuri and technically Luffy.
Yeah, he learned that during the fight. That is a really special thing. But it is, from the fanbase, it's compared to Rio, which is not exactly the best comparison, as Rio is very more basic.
Emphasize through Capone's internal monologue upon Katakuri's official introduction that Katakuri unlocked this future sight power as a result of hard work. The fact that he achieved that through hard work and training gave most of us a closer sense of relatability and respect for that road of success, as we ourselves has improved our life due to hard work and not handouts. That might...
Alright, now you're just prescribing other people onto Katakuri.
Yeah, I mean, if you find that more relatable, then fine. But like, that doesn't really inherently say anything about his character, because like, even if the whole future sight observation haki was something that he just had, just randomly, right? No, not much hard work aside from manifesting the power. I would imagine it would still make his character interesting,
Yeah, I don't care if he worked hard to unlock future self. That is actually the thing I care least about his character, because he still works off his ass for his family.
Yeah, and then there's stuff that you can do with that. Like, for example, like he would perceive this power as not really like having much use aside from just protecting his family. That's how he sees it. Something so, it's I guess it's the dichotomy, right? Something so incredible and yet used for something relatively simplistic, right? It could be interesting.
Even though his entire family rules over an entire archipelago.
I mean, yeah, well, yes, but what I mean to say is that, in general, there are things that you can do with the power just being given to him, whether or not he gotten it through hard work or not. He would still be an interesting character. Who cares about how? But I mean, I know, I know who cares is.
It would matter a good bit how he got the.
Why does it matter?
It would matter. It would matter a good bit how he got the ability to see. I mean, this level of observation.
Okay, fair. I mean, from a narrative and world building standpoint, I agree. But from a relatable thing, I'd say it's irrelevant.
For his personal character, how he acts, that it doesn't matter because he still works his ass off in other aspects.
I'm just still on the hard work inscribing it to real life people thing.
That just makes no sense.
Yeah, that's pretty unnecessary and a little rude, if I say so myself. Like, I don't exactly want to be relatable or related to Katakuri, but hard work is hard work, and we all go through it.
Hard work
our life due to
skill versus luck.
Yeah.
Hard work and not handouts. That minor detail sets up the platform
Not exactly minor.
of how responsible and self-accountable Katakuri is. I hold a very unpopular opinion that Katakuri actually saved Haki from dimming down to a low-tier power system. Now I'll be using Katakuri's then unbeaten streak as an apparatus in this case study to examine its choice of responsibility and priorities. Katakuri.
Alright, he just said Haki is a low-tier power system.
No, he said it would be if Katakuri wouldn't have future self.
I guess. I mean, the story's still going, so there is always the potential to evolve evolve Haki.
Mm-hmm.
Haki would still be okay if advanced techniques wouldn't be present. I mean, I guess it would be low tier. It would be boring, I suppose, but it wouldn't be bad. It would just be basic.
Mm-hmm.
And then Oven with the weirdly sectioned hair and the cape, not wearing a shirt, but the belt and jeans. And then Mondor with the open up vet. I'm still on the weirdly dressed characters. The thing he said before, how he dressed up more badass looking compared to the other family. Even then, it's not a unique thing to Katakuri to dress up like a cool guy, since Oven has the shirtless and then the cape look, which is prescribed as cool. Having a cape is cool.
Yeah, wait a minute. You're saying the badass guy is dressing badass in a shonen? What?
And then Compot having a little, well, I guess a compot of fruits on her head.
Yeah.
And then whatever
Anyways,
the hell Brule is wearing.
I think I'm going to go now. I think I'm going to bed.
I'm getting tired.
Yeah, bro.
Understandable. Good night.
Alright, see ya.
Well, I guess
Katakuri's unbeaten streak was as a result of his subconscious need for perfection, because only through perfection could he pay the ultimate price for his appearance, and thus his perceived weakness of morality must be tossed away.
Say that again?
Did he just say that Katakuri needs to be perfect in his own mind to atone for him being ugly? Did he say that he thinks he needs to repay his ugliness in perfection? Because it sounded like
let me play that back then.
Apparatus in this case study to examine its choice of responsibility and priorities. Katakuri's unbeaten streak was as a result of his subconscious need for perfection, because only through perfection could he pay the ultimate price for his appearance, and thus his perceived weakness of morality must be tossed away to make way for the acceptance of responsibility he must take on. I don't believe.
Yeah, that was a mess of words, but I think he's saying he has to ditch both his physical and morality to achieve true perfection.
Yeah, that would be correct, but what I hung up on is that the word pay, because he doesn't pay for his appearance. He hides his appearance, but he doesn't. I don't think he thinks, "Oh, I'm so ugly now. I have to do this." He thinks, "Yeah, I think kind of I'm ugly. That hurts my family. I have to hide it." That would be correct. But
which exactly doesn't happen, since him being ugly is primarily a him issue.
Yeah, he thinks he has to. He hides it because he thinks if people would see that, he wouldn't taken that much serious. But I don't think the word pay really fits in the sentence. That's what I hung up on.
It's just a wonky point. Alright, he hasn't really lost the actual character of Katakuri yet, compared to the earlier part of the video. Which is interesting. But we still have a few minutes left. Let's see if he keeps this ball rolling.
I believe that Katakuri's unbeaten streak was ongoing due to him racking up victories against pirates who would come to Totland seeking to challenge Big Mom's position. Katakuri seems the type to be selective in his choice of opponents. An opponent who take abuse of his siblings like Luffy did, or have the potential to, seems to be his call of duty. It's not just his siblings' safety that Katakuri prioritized or care about. He also told the father soldiers to get back into the mirror world while they were aboard the Sunny, as Luffy would have knocked them out with his king's haki. Class, social status, race, gender, or any self-identifier doesn't seem to play a role in who Katakuri decide to protect or prioritize.
I think it's because they are also in league with the Big Mom Pirates, therefore they would also help with the protection of his family. He's just being smart and rational, not specifically carrying that level to those soldiers. It's not that.
You just have to be family. Katakuri wear the words of the famous American philosopher Dr. Wayne W. Dyer on his sleeve. Those words were, "Your purpose in life is service to others." Security and protection was going to be his everlasting service to his family. There are also psychological benefits of accepting responsibility and embracing that choice. One such benefit is you freeing yourself from forced ideology by external forces, which helps you to grow.
Which isn't the case since he accepted that his arrogance harmed his family and now he lost Katakuri.
Is you freeing yourself from forced ideology by external forces, which helps you to grow. Conversely, if you truly believe your locus of control is external, that belief associates you with a higher level of psychological distress. You see, growth is a process, not an event. Being patient and compassionate with yourself as you navigate towards accepting responsibility is the best way to go in life. It makes you a responsible person, which makes you a good person, and it also makes you a great leader and a great conqueror.
What are you saying? He just was dumb, and then he got, well, he was being, not dumb per se. He got in a fight, and his family paid for his price. It's not like he wanted to be this. He just felt like he needed to be this. Not in any sort of destiny.
No, I think what he's saying that he still does makes him a good leader and thereby a great conqueror. I don't know. I'm getting too tired to understand what he's saying.
I woke up somewhere around 4, so I should have enough energy.
Yourself
still talking and not saying anything.
Force ideology by external forces, which helps you to grow.
But on that, he completely lost Katakuri. He didn't want to be this. He wanted to help his family. His perfection was made because of his family.
Conversely, if you truly believe your locus of control is external, that belief associates you with a higher level of psychological distress. You see,
then he says that, which I don't know what he means by that.
Growth is a process, not an event. Being patient and compassionate with yourself as you navigate towards accepting responsibility is the best way to go in life.
Which is not applicable to Katakuri since he forced this on himself.
Makes you a immediate
responsible person, which makes you a good person, and it also makes you a great leader.
Is Katakuri a good person?
I mean, I think he's a good person at heart, but he does bad things. I mean, it depends on definition, I suppose.
Then again, also he's a pirate and the inherent. Well, I keep on saying that, but pirate has several meanings in One Piece. But all in all, a pirate usually does the whole plundering and pillaging, murder, rape, so on and so forth. So he would have to be accepting that that association in which he technically is with, Big Mom plundering those islands for ingredients, which is not a good, is not a thing a good person would really condone. So I would just say he's good to his family.
Yeah, you could say it like that.
He's good to his family, not a strict good person like Zoro.
And a great conqueror. In my eyes, Katakuri is just that. In that situation, it takes way more to stay than to leave. Thanks for watching, guys.
And then he
I
said
hope you have a
that,
nice day.
which I don't
Or a
know.
ni-
He keeps on bringing a lot of stuff that isn't really Katakuri. Whatever.
I mean, he gets a lot of things right, and he got a lot of things he just works really, and then he gets some stuff wrong.
I guess it's more like a 55-45 on rights to wrong things.
Well, I'll be going now. I'm getting tired.
Alright. I guess this will be the end of the stream, or the recording. Well, good night, Meme Spice.